The dressing room's Scotty Camporelli preparing himself. A nervous Nicky Winmar for St Kilda. And Stuart Lowe, named captain, one of two this week. A former Saint is Dean Rice. And in the background we can hear Greedy Smith and Martin Plaza warming up with Mental as Anything. Coming out onto the ground, their night finals. Well, there's only been one, that was back in 1983. They're out without a couple of key players tonight, but they're certainly going to be a formidable force. Their coach David Parkin suggested they're going to be a better side this year than they were last year, and we know what they did last year. But what about St Kilda in 1996? With Nathan Burke and Stuart Lowe leading them out, Peter Everett has really risen to the occasion in this pre-season competition, and St Kilda have been the surprise packet. A sensational crowd, I think many of them looking for a St Kilda win here tonight as they burst through the banner. I think we're going to be in for a fantastic night of football. Joining us, one of the legends of the game, 8 times a club champion, Lee Matthews. This is final football. This is what you love.
I think so. Any grand final is fantastic. I don't know whether it's the grand final or it's the week before the start of the real season, but there's a real buzz at AFL Park tonight, and the crew match has been great. We'll hope the game is just as good.
Let's have a look at the squads. Firstly, St Kilda. Everyone talks about the big four, but my word, their young boys have done the job too.
It is obviously the big four, but the improvement in the Everett at centre-half forward, Bardsley, your guy playing well in the back pocket. Trionides, our first drafted player who's doing well, and then Smith and Brown and Jones. Jason Daniels back from Sydney is actually fulfilled some really good, valuable roles. The Carlton team, well, I mean, the Carlton team without Williams, we're told. We knew Craig Bradley wasn't playing, but without Greg Williams as well, that's a gigantic hold out of their midfield. Maybe Koutafidis may go into that centre square group, or they'll use Hogg or Whitehead or even Camporelli as a tagging player, or maybe a Robert Harvey. But still a strong-looking side, but certainly vulnerable without Williams and Bradley and Peter Dean.
But of course, Carlton does have plenty of depth, particularly with the new players that have come into that club this year. What about the key matchups, Lee? Where do you think this game can be won and lost?
Well, I think the St Kilda key forwards have to get amongst the goals. I mean, I think Silvani at fullback and Everett and Sexton at centre-half back are good key position defenders, but Lowe and Everett have to get amongst the goals. I'd say 5 or 6 goals between them for St Kilda to be really in the game. The centre square situation, what's going to happen with Robert Harvey, maybe Matthew Hogg, who's Carlton's main tagging player. As I say, without Bradley and Williams, Hogg might be given that role of trying to curb the dominance of Harvey.
So it is Carlton and St Kilda. One will add another premiership trophy to their cabinet later tonight.
They hold the day premiership. For Carlton, moments like these have become a way of life. Tonight, after 30 years, St Kilda fans will be looking forward to something to sing about.
Welcome back to Waverley Park and this Ansett Australia Cup Grand Final, and it looks as though this is going to be only the 3rd time in a Grand Final at night that we have passed the 50,000 crowd mark. It happened in 1980, and of course it happened in the big one in 1993 when more than 75,500 fans turned out to see Essendon play Richmond. But a very good crowd, must be knocking on the door of 60,000 here tonight for this one. Anthony Koutafidis, many talking about him as the next superstar of the game, wearing number 43. What a player he's been. Justin Murphy bending over and just getting himself prepared for his grand final. And Nicky Winmar, the club champion, who has been in such scintillating form and is looking for a huge year in 1996. As the teams come over for the national anthem, St Kilda led by their new skippers, and Carlton with Stephen Kernahan. Peter Everett, a newfound confidence has lifted his game to another level, and the Saints will be looking for big things from him tonight. It's a real finals atmosphere here at Waverley. Conditions couldn't be better for this grand final. The old and the new, Kernahan, Camporelli right on his hammer, Matthew Hogg, and the galloping hat rack Justin Madden. a veteran nearing 30 night games. What a magnificent player he's been over the years. St Kilda fans out in force tonight. As we prepare for the national anthem, let's go down to the boundary line, and here's Craig Willis.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stand please for the national anthem to be performed tonight here at Waverley by Kevin Johnson.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts, beauty rich and rare. On history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strings then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Kevin Johnson and the national anthem. As we stand by now for the coin toss, and we welcome our boundary rider for the night, a former champ himself, Robert Dippy and Domenico. Dipper, good evening.
Good evening, Sandy, and you've said it in one. What a great atmosphere out here, and as you said, the crowd's certainly gone to the spirit of things, and we've got Kevin Johnson here, who is going to toss the coin with Nathan Burke, one of the captains, and also Stephen Kernahan. Now, what a great atmosphere out here tonight.
It is fantastic atmosphere, yes. It's something to behold, yes.
Now you got that coin? Where's that coin?
It's here.
Okay.
I'm ready. Ready to go?
Who's called?
Okay.
Stephen's called heads. And heads it is, and we're kicking right to screen, Sandy.
Thank you, Dipper. Dipper, our boundary rider. Carlton set themselves. We have a look at the men in white in charge of proceedings tonight, and certainly plenty of experience amongst our umpires. Peter Carey is going to be wearing number 8. He's being accompanied by Brian Sheehan, who we just saw officiating with the coin toss, and also Mark Nash. So they are the 3 men in white: Peter Carey, Brian Sheehan and Mark Nash. To our commentary team, and a warm good evening to Bruce McAvaney.
Sandy Roberts, thank you very much. What a stage has been set tonight for this grand final. Malcolm Blight joining Lee Matthews and myself high in the grandstand. Good evening, Malcolm.
Hi, Bruce. G'day, Lee. How are you?
Bloody very good. Great atmosphere, isn't it?
It's fantastic, isn't it?
And Russell Morris, a boundary rider, alongside of Robert Dippy, Domenico. So I'm surrounded by men who have played in premiership teams here tonight, and that's what both of these teams are after. No Williams and no Bradley. There was no surprise about Bradley not playing, but Williams there was. There's Lowe and Silvani. Gee, they've waited so long time, St Kilda, for grand final. It's electrifying here. Saints to go to the left. Blues to the right of screen. The Ansett Cup final. Madden just won it over Vidovic. Free kick advantage given to Ratton. Through the centre to fall forward. Pearce has got it. A spectacular start for the Blues. The advantage was played by Ratton, and Pearce was quick. He accelerated like he did last year. He started this night series with 7 goals against Essendon. He was a revelation in 1995. He's a thumping kick. He goes from right on 50. And the little hook at the end, up behind.
Yes, excellent start out the middle. And Brad Pearce, back from injury after missing the last game. And here's the designated kicker for St Kilda. Justin Peckett finds it beautifully and finds Stephen Ziller. Ziller has Burke on in the middle, chips it high, and just has enough time to get there. Out wide, back to Ziller. Ziller on the run and goes wide to the wing. Sitting underneath it, Christou punches away aggressively towards the boundary line. Ziller back onto it, but the ball over the line and out of bounds, some 75 metres around from the Carlton goal. And Stephen Ziller, a couple of touches in that exchange. See number 3 there, Nathan Burke. Big Justin Madden, Lazar Vidovic. Lean on each other, arms locked. Madden throws it at his left foot, falls to the ground. Hogg in there. St Kilda charge it down. Smith under pressure, gives it up to Camporelli. Also handballs away to Peckett. Fantastic chase from Camporelli. Puts pressure on. Rice runs it at hard. Winmar off the ground, gets caught high from Murphy and will take the free kick right on centre wing. Yes, he just tried to do a bit too much then, Murphy. Went at the body, not the ball.
Winmar's kick to half forward. Everett, one of the targets. With Sirakovsky, Harvey, little one to Elliott at 55. Good kick, right to the square. Burke's got it.
Oh, Bruce, do I hear a fairly loud shout then for the St Kilda team? I think they might have the support here.
They're here and there. Thousands, there's no question about that. There must be 60,000 here tonight at least. And Nathan Burke, captain tonight, tossing the coin. What a start if he can go. From point blank range. He's got it. It's a good one to get, Lee, the first of the grand final, isn't it?
I think so. There's a bit of a cat and mouse going on around the midfield. I think Matthew Hogg is picking up Harvey and Burke is sort of getting onto Ratton and pushing into their forward line there. Ratton just didn't quite man him up quick enough, and a good strong mark by Burke resulted in the goal, which is great for the confidence when you're starting the game this early. That first goal is really critical.
Yes, couldn't agree more, Lee, especially when they're underdog too, I suppose, in most circles. But perhaps the Saints don't believe that tonight. Vidovic and Matt back in the centre. Nice even bounce. Great contest. Falls. Sirakovsky, great hands out to Elliott. Elliott goes in the Everett direction and marks it. So the big fella, Peter Everett, with those sensational four-quarter goals against the Eagles. Wonderful kick.
It was a wonderful kick. He had the, well, basically the kick had to be weighted, but Everett's height, he was able to jump into the ball and play of his height. It's very hard to spoil if you allow him to leap into the ball.
He is a goal kicker. Oh, second one for the Saints.
12-1. Everett and Burke, the goal scorers, after Jamie Elliott twice have kicked accurately to the front of the goal. Bardsley tries to go through, held up. Perfect evening. Currently at 23. Expected to get down tonight, but couldn't have got better. Rice, Winmar. Handball, put Vidovic under a bit of pressure. Quick kick, got a bit of distance actually. Beveridge, Hickmott, good take. Going to get 50. Umpires are mic'd in the Ansett Cup series, and you could hear Peter Carey very clearly. So Hickmott to kick now from about 80 metres from goal. Waits it beautifully. Pearce, has he got it? Play on call. It's a good attempt. He fancies it, he took it.
I think already Pearce's extreme acceleration is troubling Robert Neal. I mean, that's his great strength. He just bursts away from his direct opponent. He's done it twice already.
Sporting went early with Vidovic. Ratton left foot. Snap for goal. Shanahan got a touch. It's a behind. So the Blues have gone forward a couple of times for 2 points. St Kilda twice in their 2 goals.
Stan Alves looking on. You're pretty happy with what the Saints have done in the second half of last year. 6 out of 9 wins to finish the season, and now making a night grand final. Great solidarity showed at St Kilda over the summer. And Peckett again. Impeccable kicking to Nathan Burke. Burke now forced to go long. Everett gets a hand in, falls to Camporelli, and that is a high tackle from Shanahan. And Scott Camporelli
Have you kicked Scotty?
will take the kick to force Carlton back into their forward line. Oh, beautiful kick to Kernahan. I do believe, Lee, that Carlton has some great forward play setups, and that space at the back then for Kernahan was just sensational.
I don't think Shanahan covered. I mean, you've got to really cover the inside space more than the boundary line space if there was a choice. And really, I think he covered the boundary line side, and really now Kernahan's got the set shot from directly in front.
So from 50 metres, Stephen Kernahan kicks it low and left. 1 point resulting, so that's the 3rd point for the Blues. St Kilda with 2 straight goals.
It was interestingly because Shanahan was one of the men who put the tackle on Camporelli, and he got caught out there with Kernahan all alone in the goal square. He was going up the field, running off his man, and that time didn't pay the maximum penalty. You've got to be pinpoint accurate there. Sporting rips it away. Daniels gets hold of him. He's a great tackler. Daniels again whipped away from the Blues. Murphy to Madden, in trouble. Almost through it in the end upfield. Kudafuti's had it taken away. Winmar, Harvey, his hand's okay. Vidovic, Winmar, skillful, brilliant, a bounce. Hasn't quite balanced on the left. Kicks to full forward, not bad. Good take, wonderful mark, McLaren. Exciting.
Pretty good first touch in senior ranks, I think.
One of the very few players not to have played AFL football out there tonight. The Blues have none. I'm talking about day competition matches. The Saints have got 3, and McLaren, the 18-year-old, to kick from the pocket. What a moment for him. It's not bad.
So 3 straight goals to St Kilda. Carlton with 3 points. Bounce. Been bouncing beautifully in the centre. Hogg attacks it. Now Brown onto his left foot. There's a hole at the back. Bardsley underneath it. Can't grab hold of it. Caught by Ratton. Called play on by the umpire. Great handball from the Saints. Really does set it up and sends Waitman off running. Kicks Everett. Big fellow in front. Beveridge runs across the front of the pack. Runs at the football. Murphy stands up, tries to handball, then taps it out. And a pack of players really having trouble getting this footy at the moment. And it'll certainly be a bounce. So just almost centre wing. And the odds at the moment, 2-1 St Kilda. Carlton's 13-4 on.
Not at the moment, I don't think, Malcolm. Early 3 game though with the odds.
There's the ball forced towards the boundary line. The free kick's given to Burke. So the co-captain kicked the first goal for the Saints. Young veteran. Low. All made for him. So Stewie Lowe from one co-captain to the other. Everett on the lead. Oh, fantastic standing the ground then from Manton. Just put them off. Silla breaks clear. Vidovic goes outside the boot and doesn't quite hit it right, and so that falls very wide and out of bounds on the full.
Saints interchange. Little Aussie Jones, one of them there, who kicked that late goal against Carlton in a quarter-final last year out here. Saints having beaten the Blues twice last year, once in this competition, and then on a dirty day in May. Good take, Kudafuti's. Keeps it low. Still a long way from goal. Vidovic front spot. Bardsley found a way. Should give it off. He does. Winmar can give it back. Doesn't, but his hands were beautiful. Harvey's vision excellent. Bardsley good take on the run. Could he control the leg to half forward? Well done, Christou. Had the height advantage against McLaren. Brown, maybe not the best option, Madden, but he hasn't made too many mistakes in his career. Little one now by Ben Sexton. Hogg running onto it. Winmar. Brilliant. That's wonderful football. Burke's handball not accurate. It sits for Daniels. running away from Koutafidis, controls the leg. Low worked underneath by Silvani. Stephen sits, sizes up his options, kicks very well. Camporelli stands his ground, as he often has to, because he is always tested, I feel, Camporelli early in the game, and gives it off to Ratton. The Blues are away to Manton.
Manton swings out wide. Pearce on the lead, reels right rhythm this time and punches beautifully away. Falls to Winmar's got it on the string. Tried to tap it back to Peckett. Now under pressure and the ball's forced to the boundary line.
It's just a pleasure to watch a guy like Winmar. Just the way the ball melts into his hands when he touches it. He just takes it absolutely first touch.
I went and watched him train on Wednesday night, Lee, and he was just a class act on the training track. Never fumbled, kicks never missed. Just a beautiful mover. Wonderful player. Madden hits it back, wide head underneath. Almost too slick with the handle. Sets up Elliott. Elliott long in the low direction. Will get there on the first bounce. Players bowled over. Comes out wide. Aussie Jones somehow or other tried to keep it in, but will be called back to throw it in.
It's come on for Luke Beveridge, Jones, just a moment ago.
Yes, one of the class of 95. Brown, Smith, Wakeland, Shillett and Jones. Justin Madden coming off. The Saints recruiting in 95 terrific. Pack of players. Manton under pressure gives it up. So's Ratton. So's Hickmott. And is called for throwing. So a free kick will go to St Kilda and Aussie Jones. Will probably kick from just inside 50. So far, most players kicking the ball fair way. The dew not here yet. Temperature still warmish. Kicks just pushes at the right. Not quite going to make it. Everett can't grab hold of it. Falls to the ground. McLaren underneath. Everett off the ground. And just a point. Great reflexes from the big fella.
He has got great ground level agility at close quarters. Not if he has to run 20 metres to get the ball, but if it falls around his feet, Everett, he's very agile, big for a big guy to get the ball at ground level.
Stephen Silvani. Hear the umpire saying, kick it now. Koutafidis big fly, not quite. Daniels had hold of Whitehead, free kick the Blues. Away to Ratton. Best and fairest of the club last year. Well inside 50. Kernahan held up by Shanahan. Oh, Peckett had to take it. Chance. Spalding, Kernahan. It's close. It's coming back. Got it.
So with just under 10 minutes remaining, Carlton get onto the goal-kicking scoreboard for the first time. Allen on the ground. Up in the centre. Harvey can't control it. Ratton, those quick kicks, he's very good at that. And Peckett easily on the chest to Winmar. Makes great position, Nicky Winmar. When the ball goes past him, he bolts another way. He really can't do much about it if it goes into defence. Always an option coming out for the defenders of St Kilda. Lovely long kick. Big pack. Oh, there's 15 in the pack. Ratton stayed down. Ball falls to ground. Players having trouble under enormous pressure there. Falls out to Camporelli. Now says go. Kicks it out wide in the front of Pearce. One bounce to that player. Neil's got him. Oh, that's a great contest. Peckett will run this towards the line. No, pulls it back in. Oh. Poor Lee, would have thought that he would have pulled it back towards the boundary line there. Not spun back in play.
Got to turn towards the boundary line in that part of the ground when you're under pressure like that.
Rice goes short. Great get. Look good from here. Stephen Kernahan. I don't see Stephen Kernahan do that very often. I think he might have thought that was good. Let's go down to Dipper.
Dipper? Yes, mate. Fraser Brown's been taken up the tunnel. Looks like a grind strain at this stage.
Gee, they'll miss him. Devonport came on for him. We got a message a moment ago too concerning the crowd here tonight. They've closed the car parks and there are people still trying to get in. It looks a full house. The great Australian leg spinner Shane Warne. who did very well for Victoria today. Took a couple of wickets. They bundled out to Queensland for 142. There's Winmar. Short to Neil, gets him. Rather, I should say Sirakoski at half-back. Yes, Warren got Border first ball after lunch. His first ball, that would have been a moment. Border's last match of the MCG. Vidovic kicks it to 50. Good effort, Ratton. McLaren got it out. Jones, Burke, just a little one to low. Silvani with him. And Lee, everywhere I look, there are great matchups, and I think that's what that tells us is St Kilda have come of age.
Well, I think so. I mean, Burke tried to pick up Ratton early in the game, and I think they've tried, Carlton have put Ratton onto Harvey now to try and break that chair, that normal cat and mouse that goes on with your 2 or 3 key midfielders.
Yes, Paul Rifle also at the game. McLaren does well there, taps it out to Daniels, sells the dummy onto his left foot, Bardsley runs onto it, kicks, hooks it round, and it's missed. So Christian Bardsley advances the St Kilda score to 3-3 and Carlton 1-3. So a 2-goal margin. Luke Beveridge looks on.
Just sprayed a bit the Saints in the last 5-10 minutes after being so accurate early. Sexton to centre wing. Allen, his target. Winmar. What an effort! The fact that he was competitive was fantastic. Camporelli well played. Long kick too to Pearce. Neil went early. Wakeman should get a free kick. Sporting held him up and he'll get it at half back. How much good this must be doing the St Kilda team. 50 against Pearce. Just thinking aloud, Lee, but they're involved in such a contest before such a crowd against such quality opposition. It's like accelerating their maturity and their progress by about a year and a half.
It's really on now. The last 10 minutes, the contest is pretty much even up, but St Kilda have got that early break, and you're right, that's great for their confidence to get into the game.
Wakeland to centre half forward. Low Silvani. Sexton from the side. Punched away. Goes to ground. Harvey couldn't quite hold. Jones got rid of it very quickly. Devonport run down. Breaking through Bardsley. Still breaking through and wins a free kick. It was like a rugby player trying to find a hole, wasn't he?
Go hard enough at the ball, you're always likely to draw a high tackle if you go hard enough at it.
Ratton just over the top. And Bardsley's been in good form. He kicked goals in the opening match against Hawthorn. He's maintained his high standard against Adelaide and West Coast. This will take a terrific kick. He's from 52 metres. Just did an Aussie Jones and gave it a push. Low, flew. Burke onto it, off the ground and behind. And the Saints, who are dominating at the moment, are 3-4 to 1-3. There's Ant Forward and Gary Rice, the chief executive of the Seven Network, along with Ant Forward and Maury Plant, I notice in the background, who's an athletics identity here in Australia. So we've got sports people left, right and centre. Kutafides, big fly. Ben Sexton away with a bounce. Great rebound by Carlton. Neil couldn't take it. Rice tucked away. Not a bad kick, actually. Kernahan just couldn't make it a contest. Winmar's got it again. Slow old handball. Shanahan has to balance up and kick accurately and long, hopefully. Aussie's onto it. Jones over the top to Smith. Breaks it. Sirakoski gets in his road. Smith with a little left footer. It sits now for Jones at centre wing. One. Then a high ball. Little wasted here for the St Kilda team. Good attempt there by Wakeland at the back. Zilla ran out of room. It was just a squeezy one. Everett comes charging in, gets rid of his opponent. Silvani mops up, kicks it accurately. Camporelli's got it.
Oh, we're putting this game on. This is fantastic. The tempo is terrific. Camporelli, beautiful kick to Allen. So Matthew Allen, between wing and half forward, wanting the lead. Pearce, Spalding there. Oh, great punch from behind from Neil. Ratton in underneath. Taps it out. Off the ground from Pearce. Special goal!
Blues coming back, 3-4 to 2-3. Brad Pearce's goal. Vidovic goes early against Allen. Daniels, Harvey finds a way. Elliott, Zilla, he could kick this. 40 metres out, straightens up and drills it. How about that one? That's a terrific answer.
Well, so far Matthew Hogg has probably had the better of Robert Harvey. He's back on him now after Ratton picked him up for a minute or two there. It was the ability of Harvey to hold on to the ball, to not panic, to hold on to it, and eventually set up the St Kilda goal. Didn't panic, used it correctly, and really it was just St Kilda running forward with the ball and ended up being a fairly simple 40-metre shot into an open goal. But Robert Harvey back in the game or getting his hands on the ball is what St Kilda need.
Oh, he's a terrific player, Stephen Zilla. Great addition to this Saints side. 13-point margin, just over 4 minutes remaining. Devonport on the ground, runs onto it. Kudafiti's good in tight. Ratton under pressure. Burke to Bardsley, kicks it high and wide. The chase is on. Harvey, Murphy coming at him. The boundary line beats the both of them.
There's going to be a major blow if Fraser Brown's off. I mean, already without Williams and Bradley and Brown, that would make the midfield of Carlton a lot less formidable than we tend to expect it to be.
Yes, the tackle, St Kilda 13, Carlton 6. So Allen, Vidovic, works to the front, Allen, hits the ball back to the boundary line. Burke, quite happy to see it over.
Tackling statistics are always the best statistic for your work rate. If your team's tackling well, you know they're working hard.
What about if you're always running second to the ball, Lee? I mean, what
That's
about
the
that
only
theory?
excuse. If you win by 10 goals, you don't have to tackle better.
Boundary line work again. Ball tied up. So just going through a quiet patch here after that sensational goal from Pearce and an equally brilliant one from Zilla. And a bit of a stalemate on this half-forward, between half-forward flank and wing. Carlton in. Devonport to Brown. Falls to Bardsley. Controls it beautifully. And kicks it to Allen. The ruckman dropping back across half-back. Now called to play on. Has to kick long. Straight back to the St Kilda players. So Vidovic to relieve with a handball to Zilla.
Finding space, Zilla. Kicks it to the front of the square. Everett, well done, Hickmott. Put Allen under a bit of pressure. Everett worried Camporelli. Winmar's got a chance here. Takes it. Left foot, look at this. Wonderful. A mighty roar goes right around this ground as Nicky produces a great moment here.
Well, I must say, every time he's gone near the ball tonight, he has looked absolutely magical, Nicky Winmar. We know what he's capable of, but today it's just been the class of everything he's done. I mean, it was really that tackle almost that forced the possession and really a very quick, balanced quickly, left foot across the body, hooked the ball back. A class player it takes to do that.
It's an exciting contest, isn't it? Camporelli and Winmar. Camporelli's had 7 touches, Justin Murphy coming off, and Winmar with 7 as well. Ball kick forward out the centre. Sexton caught. Great pressure from Everett. Manton caught. Sexton has to kick in a hurry. And Allen sits underneath it. Out to Christou. Kicks wide. Lovely kick to Whitehead. Goes back in the centre to Ratton. Now Carlton building here. Kernahan through his hands. Guess who? Winmar almost. Socket off the ground. And this will run through. No, it won't. Vidovic's back. Turns. Burke's by himself. Devonport has to come back. Burke leaps. Can't grab hold of it. Recovers beautifully. Gives it off to Wake. And this is exciting stuff for the Saints. The kick goes underground. Oh, it's there nine. Joel Smith. Nathan Burke. Sorry behind. Kicks up. This looks like Carlton here. A lot of players. Ozzie Jones just runs at the footy. On his left foot kicks. And it's missed. The Saints, are they pumped?
Murphy's been interchanged for Lynn, but really the Carlton half-forward line, Rice, Spalding and Murphy just not getting enough through there. Peckett and Wakeland across there are doing a terrific job, really. St Kilda asks Carlton are going to have to do something about getting something out of that line if they're going to kick a winning score.
Chris Dulong. Winmar, big fly. Wakeland's hip and shoulder was fair. Manson. Zilla. Smith. Devonport tackles. Smith goes to ground. Free kick. Just moves a bit like Reece Jones's fella. That one doesn't, but well over 300 games. Smith at about 55, gets it to Everett and low. So a magnificent start now for the Saints.
Imposing that, Lee, isn't it? Those two big blokes in the goal square.
I think exactly what's happening down there, that Everett and Lowe are causing problems for Sexton and Silvani, who are both excellent defenders, but I mean, when Stuart Lowe wraps his hands around the ball, you can bet he's going to mark it.
To kick from 20 metres. We're out to 6 goals to 2. 6-5 to 2-3. Lowe kicked 15 goals in the first 2 matches of this series. Missed out against West Coast.
I think really also what we wondered, how would St Kilda get into this game with the big occasion pressure, help them or hinder them, and I think it's lifted them actually. They've played with a tremendous amount of vim and vigour at this point.
Nathan Burke, Russell Morris, what's his situation?
Yes, Bruce, look, Nathan's had a couple of knocks around the head in the past few years, but he's okay, he's pretty solid. That helmet's been working well for him, so he's okay to keep going.
Okay, so 6 individual goal kickers for the Saints. Stanhouse would really like that. Everyone contributing. That's how they're playing at the moment. Hot hoiks it out of the air. Kemparelli and Winmar. Here they go again. I reckon they're both pretty tired. They've both had big quarters. Zilla there for support. Comes back inside. Great contest over Smith. Here's Harvey. Caught. Daniels. Vidovic on in the centre. Needs to get rid of it quickly and does. Hooks it round beautifully. Contest, Silvani great. So that last thrust by St Kilda thwarted. Stewie Lowe shakes his head, but surely he'd be pretty happy with a great first quarter.
Koudafides has just been shifted into the midfield too, which I think Carlton had to do. They have to get someone with a bit of class and ball getting in there to help Ratton, who's pretty much one out at this point. So all the points to St Kilda in that quarter, and you know, that's the kind of start you want. A 4-goal lead at quarter time and gives the confidence going for a team that I think looks the real look of a team that's desperate to win the game.
Well, Jones helped when he came on. In fact, pace has worried Carlton a bit tonight. We hadn't talked about that for a while, have we, after they won 16 straight and all of those things? But
well, Carlton at VFL Park without Bradley have always been vulnerable. If you without the genius of Williams and then Brown's off the ground, makes an enormous difference to that midfield group that have been so good for them.
Lee, if only we could get 2-1 right now. The Saints at quarter time. It's St Kilda 6-5, Carlton 2-3.
Never be a better game than the game we have today.
It's quarter time here at Waverley Park in the Ansett Australia Cup Grand Final. St Kilda with 6 individual goal kickers showing the way. 6-5, 41. Carlton are 2-3, 15. Of course, next weekend signals the start of the home and away season. Under lights at the MCG on Friday night, it is Melbourne versus Geelong. To our boundary riders, the Dipper and Russell Morris. And to Russell, the Saints setting a fierce pace in that first quarter.
Yes, Sandy, look, I think it just proves after that first quarter that they've come of age. Like, they haven't let the occasion get to them. The numbers at the ball, the tackling, they've been very, very professional. They probably look like they're playing as if they'd won the premiership last year, and they look very calm at the huddle. What about Carlton, Dipper? Carlton obviously quite slow that quarter. I'll be interested to see if Matthew Allen stays on the ground, because the pace of this game is very, very fast, and maybe just a matter might be caught out a bit.
Well, traditionally he's come on around about half-time in that of every quarter in the game, so if Madden starts, it's interesting to see how long he does stay on that quarter.
And also Fraser Brown will definitely not be playing for the rest of the game.
Okay, that's a real blow to Carlton. No Brown. Now Nathan Burke, tremendous first quarter. Lee, this was the incident where he Copped a hip and shoulder from Earl Sporting.
Well described, exactly what it was. Hip and shoulder right up the front of Burke. He's only knocked him and winded him a little bit. I think he'd be okay, but certainly knocks the stuffing out of him when a guy by the size of Sporting hits you with your full weight when you don't see him coming.
About to start the second term. Leading the side tonight, Nathan Burke, co-captain with Stuart Lowe for the season, 6-5, 2-3. If you've just joined us, it was a magnificent opening by St Kilda. Before a full house, you would say here. In fact, they're looking for seats around the box at the moment. Over 70,000, I would think, at the Waverley Park tonight. Hog out of the centre. He's got the running roll on Harvey. Goes wide. Good take there by Murphy. Went off the ground about 20 minutes into the first term. Kicks it to the front of the square. Vidovic front spot. Madden was at the back. Neil had it ripped away. Lynn round the body. Pretty good. Did Shanahan touch it? He did. It was an important touch in the end because it was a goal had he not. Lynn's kick was accurate. 6-5, 2-4.
As we mentioned towards the end of the first quarter, Koutafidis has gone into the midfield, and Daniels, who's had that one-on-one tagging role, has actually gone with him to keep up trying to keep Koutafidis out of the game.
So Nicky Winmar socks down already. Had a big first quarter. Justin Pickett. It's a lovely kick. Burke puts it on the ground, then plays it to himself. Now he's under pressure. Gives it out wide. Kick from Bardsley. Winmar, Camporelli. The contest is still on. And I wonder after that first quarter where Winmar actually ended up with 9 touches and Camporelli 7, I wonder if Parkins now said, you can run with him.
I'm sure he has. The use of the ball by Winmar was just too good, and Camporelli can't play keepers up.
Koutafidis, I love that. Oh, that is special. Bruce, that is special. Kick forward. Fantastic dive, desperation from Neil, and into the back of that player, and he'll take the free kick deep in the back pocket. Brad Pearce on the mark. Generally in this situation you go to the tall fella, and that's where it heads in the Vidovic direction. Not quite going to get there. Harvey marks it. Stands, doesn't wait long with the ball, kicks. Great contest. Ratton gets the ball at the back. Wants the handball, then forced to kick from pressure from Daniels. Opens up the goals. Here's Jones in pace. Aussie Jones onto his left foot. Unloads it uncharacteristically. He really needed to settle, the young fella, but he's pushed it a bit wide. He's an exciting young player, isn't he?
It's very natural either side, doesn't he? Left to right foot, he always looks balanced and looks like he can kick the ball well either side, no problems at all.
Well, it's fantastic too as a defender, Lee, when they get behind you. So, boundary throw-in. Lowe does the ruck work. Silvani caught from Burke to Camporelli. Pressure from Winmar. Harvey comes at it. Back to Winmar. Nicky has a chance. Shrugs the tackle. Kicks it to the square. Lowe has to sit. Oh, Everett over the top. Well, this has happened a couple of times now. Lowe and Everett back in the square. There's been pushing and shoving. And isn't it funny how the taller players seem to stand up as one collapses?
Well, he's got the ability, Everett. I mean, he is tall. He's 6'6" anyway.
Oh, he's kicked.
But I mean, he's just that extra height against Sexton when they're really just reaching for the ball is really causing Sexton problems. But really, there's nothing Carlton can do about that. They've got no one tall enough, I would think, that can actually even get with Everett. So Sexton just has to hang in there and just keep at it.
That's a great kick, isn't it? I'm not an advocate really of someone running out, but I mean on the left foot he did it composed.
He made it an easy shot for goal eventually, didn't he? I mean, the ability again there of Winmar to hold on to the ball, think his way through the pressure situation, set it up.
See, Silvani's gone. I thought that Lowe had him, but Everett over the top.
7-5, 2-4. Everett's second goal in the match. He kicked 4 in the last quarter against West Coast last week. Hogg, is that a free kick against Zilla? To Devonport. Devonport and Rice, both out there in Carlton Guernseys, played in finals, day finals for St Kilda. become a Brown lookalike, hasn't he, at Carlton? Big kick for him here. Came on early for Brown, couldn't get into the game. Hasn't played in this Ansett Cup series for the Blues. Comes into the final, doesn't quite make it. Neil just left it for Vidovic really in the end. It's the right thing to do. He's being held up. Madden picks himself up, and it'll be a ball up about 2 metres from Carlton's goal, and they need one. Madden. Clever, but free kick going to...
Called arms out, Bruce. That's the, he paid that as a shepherd, the umpire, against Justin Madden.
Just good play. I mean, forgetting that Madden's tap was a beauty, wasn't it, to hold? So Vidovic's got it in the back pocket.
Pick over your mark!
Again, you can hear the umpire's mic tonight, so we're listening to all their instructions, and you can hear them at home. Daniels just worrying Koutafidis. Now Murphy to centre half forward. Big fly by Spalding. Pearce under pressure, sails away. Out on the forward.
Mike Sheehan from Talking Footy fame, and alongside him Bill Cannon, of course.
7 Nightly News.
Great smother from Devonport. Bardsley chases it. He really is a tiger. And off the ground, but unfortunately for the second time, not so good, and out of bounds on the full. So Matthew Hogg. Have to kick this from outside 50, so you doubt him getting anywhere near the distance. Goes short, almost to Devonport. St Kilda playing off the ground at the moment. McLaren runs onto it first. Koutafidis turns him inside out. Does pretty well to Elliott. Oh, Elliott sets up Harvey running. Harvey has to kick it high. Everett from behind. He's through goal almost. Sexton recovers well. Gives it away. Ratton to Camporelli. Brilliant skills from Scott Camporelli there. Justin Madden has to bend. To Holt in trouble. St Kilda with enormous pressure on Carlton at the moment. The ball's kicked forward. Hickmott has to sit and wait to Murphy. And Ratton a little kick around the corner. Trying to ease some of this pressure. Sexton. Lovely kick to Lynn. He's open. Now Hogg. Pearce on the lead. Surely. Just can't get there. Neil, another soccer off the ground. A third defensive action from St Kilda off the ground. And a fourth. And out of bounds.
Always a game of inches, isn't it? I mean, that pass to Pearce, it only had to be weighted slightly better, and Pearce was going to slide into the chest mark, but dropped at his feet. The Carlton skill level just isn't quite precise enough tonight.
Madden and Vidovic. Vidovic front spot, Rice. High left footer. Spalding caught behind. Held on to Wakeland, no free kick. He was stiff, Wakeland. Devonport, well played. Pearce can kick this from 20 metres out. He's a good player, isn't he? Fraser Brown, Dipper told us he's got a bit of a groin injury. Won't be coming back. But maybe the Blues are. 3-4 to 7-5. Pearce, 4 shots at goal tonight. 2 goals, 1 out of bounds on the full. Burke off the ground, well played, Christou. Trinides has come on. Christou's got rather Manton, I should say, has got the job on him. Manton to centre wing. Koutafidis was in the front. Then Sexton, Everett. Sexton's handball. Winmar under pressure. Zilla held up well, then kicks towards Everett. He weighted it perfectly. Everett made the ground. Comes in short to Burke. Gets him. He's off. Hickmott had him. And might have pulled up short there, Burke. Away Sexton at centre half back. This will be interesting. Jones and Christou can really fly here. McLaren after Christou, and Vidovic and Madden got left for dead.
I've got a feeling McLaren's playing a fairly defensive role against Christou. We have hardly sided Christou in this first quarter and a half, and I think it's the classic case of a half forward being played to fairly defensively to stop Christou's drive.
Free kick for just hanging on against McLaren. Centre half forward. coming back. So St Kilda's. Spalding was away, but Daniels has got it at centre half back.
Jason Daniels back at home. Nicky Winmar out wide. Kick to McLaren. Christou does well to get a fist on it. And another boundary throw in. Saints hold that 25-point lead. And just under 13 minutes remaining in this quarter. No holding there. Hickmont under pressure. And sensibly the umpire calls for another bounce. Stan Owls pretty pleased with what's happened so far. Winmar playing on the other side of the other wing, but he's over this side coming in for a kick. Sexton doesn't want to pick it up. And a fantastic smother from Spilvani on Lowe's kick. Puts it out of bounds right on the 50-metre line. The Saints into attack again. Great skill, smothering. And throws in. Madden almost tries to grab hold of it. It's now trapped in underneath the players. And another bounce. But out of some reason or other, we'll pay the free. Well, that was a bit harsh. Christou's got it. And we're relief for Carlton.
And half back. Spalding the target. Bardsley front spot. Good job. So was Wakeland against Spalding. Lynn carrying Bardsley. There's Shane Warne. Back from the tour, the big World Cup.
Former St Kilda player,
yes, and supporter.
Yeah.
Murphy. Be pleased with what he's seen tonight so far, Warren, and the many thousands that are here watching. St Kilda supporters. Winmar just getting involved a bit. Brent Heaver getting ready to come on. Goal kicking forward for the Blues. Carey, Sheehan, Nash, the umpires. Camporelli just trying to lay it off for Lynn. Winmar spins, turns, Daniels. Murphy onto it, can run away. Kick to half forward. Pearce, can he turn Neil inside out? Quickly round the body, looking for Murphy. Well played, Murphy, still carrying it forward. Devonport with a chance, Snap looks okay. Gave it a hook just at the last moment and hit the post. It was close, obviously, by hitting the post, but it looked a good chance all the way. David Parkin has been in this situation on a number of occasions, but not so Stan Alves in his first big final as a coach. Now Pickett told to hurry up, goes to Elliott. Elliott's got it.
Yes, he did play in a grand final, of course, in a premiership win in '77. Playing for North Melbourne, did Stan Alves. Kick, it's a wobbly kick. Should set up Hickmont, doesn't. Goes back to Koutafidis. Now it ends up with Hickmont. Sexton goes long. Pushing and shoving. Should be almost Pearce. Newell did very well then with the pressure. And just unable to tap it over the line for its point.
That's the example of what I talked about just before with Pearce. I mean, he should have taken that mark, and normally he would have, but I just think he hasn't got quite his hands and his time completely on deck at this point of the season just yet.
7-5-3-6. Carlton doing most of the attacking in the last 10 minutes. Just pegging St Kilda back very slowly. They need just a goal or two to gain some momentum. Neil's handball good to Bardsley, who's away with a bit of pace. The second bounce didn't sit up under pressure. He kicked it off the ground. Trinedes under pressure from Manton. Ben Sexton gave it up to Wakeland. Well played. Harvey's so good in this situation. Always able to elude a tackle. Kicks to Everett's a beauty. Wonderful kick, free kick Everett. Or Mark, take your pick. Lowe's got it in the pocket. He's going to come back. And this is almost his range, Everett. Probably slightly more suited from this side of the ground, the left foot, where he's going for distance. Tend to just push it across from this side, don't you? But you can thump this. Let's have a look. He had a bit, yeah, probably the mark and then the tackle on him. So he's going to kick from 50 metres. He's kicked two. And just never really giving up the chance for a behind. So the Saints Over 7-6 to 3-6.
Silvani, wonderful kick to Heaver. Has to stop and wait. Now goes over the top to Christou. Back to Heaver. Manton's on in the middle to Murphy. Looking at options, running through the square now. Kicks over the square. Winmar. Free kick. Play on. Shanahan's called to play on. Is this really an advantage? He's forced to kick onto his left foot. Daniels first there. Grabs hold of it beautifully. Now goes back inside to Jossie Jones. He's caught. Peckett's in support. Can kick the footy. Beautiful kick to low. Oh, why wouldn't they be happy? That was a terrific play. Great backup all the way down the ground there.
It was very good. Stuart Lowe, it's very hard to get a gap between Steve and Silvani, and as Lowe saw it coming, he read the play and got the 2-metre gap. It's not very often that you can drop Silvani off like that, but it was an excellent kick from Peckett, which would have made it possible for Silvani anyway.
So Stewie Lowe, not the longest kick in the competition, but he has improved his accuracy with practice. Kicks just inside 50, kicks it high. Oh, that's a wonderful kick. 8th goal to St Kilda.
5-goal game at the moment. 8-6, 3-6. Madden, Vidovic. Not a good bounce, but it's the first one tonight. Elliott got a high tackle. The advantage given to Harvey. Streamed away. Superbly played, though, by Christou. He cut it off. The Saints were in with a big chance. Devonport and Zilla. Still Devonport and Zilla. Still Devonport and Zilla. Play on call. It's good umpiring to let it go. Jones gets it from Bartley. Kicks very well. Sierakowski couldn't quite make it. Smith did. Burke ran into trouble. Ben Sexton the man. Burke brings it back. Sierakowski couldn't quite out of play. Halfway between the wing and half-forward flank. Allen getting ready to come on to take Madden's place. Five-goal lead for the Saints. It's coming back here to Sierakowski. After Spalding and Madden got a bit tangled up there. Lowe leads now. Everett leads now. Sierakowski goes to the pocket with a high ball. Lowe's the target. Goes early. Silvani. Burke, can he get it to Everett in the goal square? He hooks it back. Bouncing ball. Manton's against the odds. The numbers. Trinedes. Clever, well played. Young fellow. He could have blazed. He had the sense to steady. He must have been excited. His first chance to kick a goal in the final. But he found Smith instead. Gee, they'll roar if he can goal here. It's a big lead now.
You called it correctly, I think, Bruce. Trinedes probably had a fair chance of just being able to hook the ball back and kick the goal himself, but set up his teammate out in front of goal, 30 metres out. Smith, and Smith's a good, accurate converter, but it's really thought his way through the situation. Good. Yeah, well played. He thought his way through and didn't blaze away.
So we're back in the centre, and Carlton have been in this situation many times. A lot of these players have as well. They'll know what's required. It's just that St Kilda have been irrepressible. Rice. And Ratton and Daniels want the same piece of the leather.
I think Carlton are down on their midfield run, but also the use of the ball into the forward line, and really they can't convert.
Allen's been a good pinch hitter though, coming on the ground occasionally is lifted. Goals have come when he's been on the ground. Justin Madden having a rest. So just on 6 minutes remaining in this second quarter, and St Kilda have added 3 and Carlton just 1 goal. Winmar chips it. That is terrific pace, and just failed to hang on did Aussie Jones and Joel Smith, 2 of the youngsters we mentioned earlier in the game from 95. They're quick, they're keen. Dean Rice coming off. Whitehead back on the ground. And there is his player, Camporelli. That's a terrific take. That's good skills. Oh, then gives it. It's a class act. He's a very good player for a long time for the Blues. Devonport has to swing it around quickly. Players have to stand and wait for it. Falls to Hogg. Hogg from inside 50. Kicks, wobbles. Oh, it's wobbled through. Much needed goal.
5 minutes remaining in the opening half. 9-6-4-6. Hogg bringing Carlton back within 5. Allen and Vidovic. Daniels. Whitehead. Koutafidis has been quiet. Managed to squeeze it back. Got to Heaver at 50. Quickly on. Camporelli on the left boot. Right to the square. Pearce. He's going to get one here, I think. Against Neil.
It's amazing, isn't it? I've seen Carlton a few times last year. And Matthew Allen coming on the ground. Somehow other goals are manufactured. I don't know why. But it's happened many times throughout last year.
Just a fraction of more mobility around the midfield.
So Pearce with that free kick against Neil for hanging on. Peter Carey telling us to kick his third goal. So the Blues won't be denied. They've come back to 4. It's getting back to a manageable distance again. 9-5.
It was a good play by Pearce. He had the front position. The kick gave him the front position, but he pushed back, made sure the St Kilda defender had to work for it, and he pushed back into him. And really, it was a case of being just a little bit over anxious, I think, on Neil's part. He had to hold off a little bit. Otherwise, a free kick 10 metres out is always going to be an automatic goal.
As one would expect, the pros at Carlton would not lie down in a game like this, that's for certain. Vidovic and Allen. Allen tries to grab it. Quick kick, does that beautifully. Zilla under pressure, kicks it onto his left foot. Allen has to stand and wait, and that's a very good mark. So we'll restart this from the middle on his left foot. Kicks it long. Kernahan has to sit and wait underneath it. Can't grab hold of it. Shanahan with the pressure. Zilla tries to weave it through. Barsley off the ground. Hickmont slips over. Jones collects it. Yes, he does. Kicks. Everett. Almost. Trianides runs onto it. He's a left footer. He kicks. Low running back onto it and just misses. So Jason Trianides extends the margin by that point.
Short to Sexton from Silvani. 25 points the margin. Sexton to centre wing, Allen the target, Murphy at the back. He's had some touches in the second term. Goes in the Kernahan direction, he has to sit and wait. Shanahan wearing him off the ground, Ben Sexton. Winmar getting back, he does get back very deep, doesn't he, Winmar, to defend so brilliantly. Comes away and then kicks the ball to Daniels. Well played, Koutafidis. It was good football all round. The kick by Winmar was spot on. Daniels presented himself and Koutafidis made the spoil. It's been a high standard opening half to what could turn out to be a real thriller here. Everything's set up for a classic. Murphy trying to get through. Elliott was in there. Shanahan on the left foot. Doesn't get much distance. Allen attacked it. Jones has been good. The little gift of Burke. Couldn't quite break the Hickmont tackle. Carlton with a chance. Sexton. Didn't give up a well played Harvey. Christou. Back to Sexton. Cool heads. Carlton not giving it up. He's got Allen on his own. Finds him. Will he sweep it wide? When's Pearce or Kernahan going to go? He's going to go in the Pearce direction. One out with Neil. Sexton there. Hogg onto it. Couldn't take it. Neil went to ground. Whitehead could kick a goal. Barsley got him though. Heaver off the ground. It's desperation. Devonport. Well played by Zilla. Vidovic's got it. It's a hot footy. It's out wide. Neil kept it low. It was the right kick. Daniels made it a contest. So did Beveridge. It came off Peckett. Murphy was in there. Koutafidis was run out of bounds.
I think we just saw an example of the St Kilda spirit then with Daniels. He made a contest about 3 or 4 consecutive times, and he was just making a contest.
Nathan Burke going off the race. Murphy spins it round. High kick to centre half forward. Shanahan sits and waits and grabs it on a second occasion. Now bursts away. Kicks long in the Everett direction. Manson. Hot pressure from Trianides. Now gets the favoured spot. Good little contest this on the boundary line, and the ball's forced out. And Russell Morris, Nathan Burke, what's the problem?
Yes, Blighty, looks like he's got, might have some light concussion. He's got blurred vision. He can't see the ball very well from that knock in the first quarter, so he's not looking too good, Blighty.
Everett, Allen to go. Thanks for that, Russell. The St Kilda socks on tonight. Spalding got rid of one tackle. So the Blues just trying to set something up. Vidovic, Zilla has had a very good first half. Good kick. Gave low every chance. He's going to pay it.
Example of the umpire being on the blind side of the play and wasn't sure, so he thought he'd give the benefit of the doubt to Stuart Lowy. Probably incorrect with the benefit of our replay.
Lowe to kick for his 3rd goal. Clarence come on the ground, Elliott off. He's improved his kicking, Big Stewie, hasn't he?
Yes, that is a wonderful kick. There's 2 great goals this quarter from Stewie Lowe. Allen, Vidovic with the left hand, pushes it forward. Murphy's worked hard. Christou, grabbed high and should get the free kick and does. So Eng Christou, All-Australian last year, kicks in the Allen direction, finds that player. And we're now down to the last 45 seconds remaining in this game. Allen goes to Pearce and finds him. Yes, I've often said it's just so hard to match up this bloke. He's quick and a left-footed to boot. It's a long kick. Right to the square. Kernahan has been paid the mark. Umpire Brian Sheehan, in the spirit of the law, said that Stephen Kernahan stopped the ball and has claimed a fair mark.
He's paid the mark. It's this angle of aligning them up with the actual centre of the goal. That's why it's such an extreme angle. The centre of the goal is the point, and the umpire is going to draw the mark from that.
Kernahan's kick and goal right on the side. Handy one for the Blues, and Stephen Kernahan gets his 2nd. And that margin just comes back to 25 points. 26 points at quarter time, so they've gained a point in the quarter.
And isn't it critical, a last goal of a quarter or last goal of a half can really make a difference to morale, because really now for the next 20 minutes Carlton have finished off the half on a high note, and Kilda have finished off slightly on a downer. So it's a great fillip for Carlton to get that goal right on the siren there.
Ended up outscoring them actually in the second term just by a single point, ironically, as the Saints seem to have everything going their way in the last, well, until about 2 or 3 minutes to go in that quarter. But Pearce got a free kick in the goal square and scored. Kernahan's kicked his 2nd. It's still a handy lead, this 4 goals.
Yeah, one had to say that up until that final mark, I was about to say that Pearce was basically carrying Carlton's forward line. Kernahan didn't look like getting it. Spalding couldn't get it. And Sexton, of course, was pushed up there. Oh well, it's still 4 goals, not a big margin in the context of the game.
And a huge support for St Kilda here, ringing this Waverley Stadium tonight as they go off the ground at half-time. It's 10-7 the Saints, the Blues 6-6.
I thank you for the best years of our lives, all those hazy, crazy young days, all those fun days in our lives.
It's half-time here at Waverley Park. 26 points was the margin at quarter-time. 25 at half-time, favouring the Saints. 10-7, 67. Carlton are 6-6, 42. Time now to find out what's making news behind the scenes in the world of football. To do that, the sporting editor of the Sunday Herald-Sun is Scott Palmer. Welcome, Scotty, and bad news for Craig Starcevich.
He's in hospital tonight up in Brisbane, Sandy, with a shattered face. A training accident at the practice of Mount Gravatt. He collided with the knee of Darryl White. He's got 6 steel plates inserted in his face. He's got 4 in the upper jaw, 1 in the eye socket and 1 in the cheekbone, and his teeth are wobbling. And his wife, Sonia, told me tonight that she's a bit unhappy about playing at these local grounds that aren't properly lit, Sandy. Tragedy for the Starcevich family.
Yes, we certainly wish him a speedy recovery. Before we go any further, you look like a mayor who's lost his desk. Tell me what you're doing with that scarf.
This is the West Coast Eagles centenary scarf. It's their 10th anniversary scarf. If you buy a membership here in Melbourne, you get a free one, Sandy. Well, I'm always in for the freebies.
I know that. On the subject of the Eagles, we've heard about Collingwood and their night clubbing. What about the Eagles?
The Eagles have announced today that any player caught out night clubbing in Perth will be fined $20,000. And the players have agreed to it, Sandy. I'm all for that.
I know you. On the subject of the Eagles, David Wirapunda, is he still in two minds as to whether go or not?
Yes, he's in a dilemma. He'll decide on Monday whether to stay in Melbourne, because he's only 16, remember, or go and try with the West Coast Eagles in Perth. He's going to talk to the Eagles tomorrow, but it'll be up to the decision on Monday.
What about injury problems from the practice matches in the past couple of days?
Essendon's Paul Barnard strained medial. He'll be gone for 6. And Hugh Reimers, who came across from Adelaide to play with Footscray, he broke his fibula today. He'll be out for a few months.
And the big news is, straight from your lips, the Dogs are going to Hollywood.
They're off to Hollywood. If Babe can make it, why not the Dogs? Yes, a documentary film is going to be centred around Footscray this year. A big one too. And blokes like Dennis Gallimberti are angling for a Bogart part. Liberals are angling for a big man part. And of course, what's going to happen to Simon Beasley, Steve McPherson and Tippy, the 3 chihuahuas who turn up for every match? If the pig can make it to the Oscars, they can.
Exactly right. Thank you, Babe, very much.
Keep on punching, Sam.
I certainly shall. Scott Palmer of the Sunday Herald-Sun. Well, plenty of news there of the centenary as far as the Eagles scarf is concerned. Speaking of collector's items for the centenary year, here's Craig Willis.
Which of these men has been the most influential in football over 100 years? How have the 12 legends changed the game? Who have been the most loved players of all time? What will footy be like in 100 years? Those questions are pondered in the centenary souvenir edition of the AFL Football Record, celebrating 100 years of the world's greatest game. $5 at all news agencies. It's a collector's item.
The Saints outscored by a behind in that second quarter, but their lead is still substantial. It's 25 points. What's the mood like in the rooms there, Russell Morris?
It's pretty good, Sandy. Look, as soon as they've walked in, the mood is very quiet, but the players went straight into their traditional groups, with Kelmore taking backman and Gary Colling taking on ballers, and Gloucester talking to the players as well. But now they're doing their stretching, and the room itself has been blocked off from any supporters. It's only a lot of past players, but also reserves players and just support staff. So it's very quiet. It's a good feeling. It just seems very, very calm. So as you can see, they're probably going through all their stretches now. So there hasn't been sort of any rest for them. It's just a matter of just relaxing and talking amongst themselves. All the coaching staff have been through and having a quiet word to them. So they're feeling pretty confident.
Thank you, Russell. Of course, Nicky Winmar with his back to us there has had a sensational first half. What about Carlton, Dipper?
Yeah, Sandy, still full of confidence in this room. They're certainly pumping each other up here. The support staff is working very hard to get some of the players up. I noticed Craig Davenport had a bit of a shoulder injury there. He's getting fixed up there, and unfortunately Fraser Brown is out with a groin injury. But a real, truly professional side here. They're pumping each other up, and still very full of confidence. I mean, they did work themselves back into this game, and a good move by the coach to put in Matthew Allen into the game, and he's certainly ready to go for the second half.
Thank you, Dibby. Yes, 25 points is the margin. We'll take a break and then be back to look at the first half with one of the legends of the game, Lee Matthews.
Thank you for the laughter, and I thank you for the tears, and I thank you just for helping us to overcome.
If you may have just joined us, it's St Kilda by 25 points, 10-7-67 to Carlton, 6-6-42. Lee Matthews joins me now. The Saints came out full tilt in that first quarter. They're still going, Lee, and Carlton just missing a couple of key players.
Well, I think so. I mean, St Kilda started exactly they wanted to. They really hard at it, very desperate in the contest, and importantly, they converted. I think that's the important part. I think Nicky Winmar's just been an inspiration to him. I mean, we see here, I think just his ability to hold on to the ball under pressure. He just weaved his way through the defence here, held on to the ball, knew when to give it off, and then basically finally set up. I think it was McLaren who marked from the front position down there. But really, he's been a magical Nicky Winmar in this half of football.
Any of the matchups surprise you?
Not really. I think what Carlton have tried to do with Robert Harvey is essentially use Matthew Hogg as a tagging player, but give him a spell every now and again and let Brett Ratton pick him up, because Harvey is impossible for anyone to pick up. I think that's just an example. When you're in defence, turn to the boundary line, never turn inside. I think here, Nicky Winmar again. And I think what we should look at is the extension of Everett. He's a tall fellow and he's got a great extension. When he sticks his hand above his head, I mean, his hand's a long, long way up. And the conversion was one of the sort of, he thought the situation out as well. And he's been a real danger down there, as has Stewie Lowe. And this situation here, again, Jason Trianides, I think this is an example. I mean, in the forward line, you've got to get the best position, your teammate in the best position to have the shot. And if you can give it to a player with a set kick from 20 or 30 metres, that's the correct option. It was well thought out by Trianides and well finished by Smith.
St Kilda have shown in their past few matches that they can start at 100 k's an hour and keep it going. You have no doubt they can keep it going tonight?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think they've got a 4-goal lead, but I think they're equivalently playing that much better too. And, I mean, Carlton, a lot of good players, Kudafidis mainly, players like that. There are a few of the good players for Carlton are out there now, and guys like that are going to have to lift themselves. Their small forwards, I think, are going to have to get amongst the goals, because Pearce and Kernahan are pretty much the only forwards for Carlton looking at all dangerous.
All right, Lee, thank you for that. It is St Kilda at the moment by 25 points. It's going to be a big day as far as the youngsters of the game are concerned tomorrow, because it's a day as far as McDonald's are concerned called Auskick Day, and a man who can tell us all about that is one of the greats of Collingwood, a Copeland Trophy winner, and their captain Gavin Brown. He joins me now. Welcome, Gavin.
Thanks, Sandy.
Tell us all about tomorrow, Auskick Day at McDonald's.
Yeah, well, Auskick Day is McDonald's Auskick Day, as they've named it for tomorrow, is all about all the young kids getting down to their local McDonald's stores. At 11 o'clock it starts, and finding out all about the new Auskick program that is about to start nationally. And it's a fantastic program for all the young kids. It's a great pathway for them to go into their school football and into their club sport. So McDonald's Auskick Day tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Gavin, are you going to have some of the league stars present at the different McDonald's stores around the country?
Yes, actually, most of the McDonald's stores around the country are going to be manned by a lot of the AFL stars. In particular, Fraser Brown, I think, is going to be at one of the Vermont stores, or the Vermont store. Nathan Burke, in fact, is going to be down at one of the Frankston stores. So, yes, all the AFL, or a lot of the AFL stars will be around at the McDonald's stores tomorrow.
And I trust you'll be able to put that practice match of a couple of days ago behind you, and you'll be in action tomorrow?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, we'll put that right behind us, and we've got a big week coming up this week against Carlton, so you know, the club's going to be very keen to do well there, obviously.
Gavin, we wish you well for tomorrow. It is a big day. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sandy.
Gavin Brown, and Auskick Day tomorrow, Sunday, March 24. As Gavin said, it starts at 11. If you want to ring the hotline, it's 039643 1987. Most importantly, kids, make it down to McDonald's and you'll get all your footy news there. We'll take a break. It's St Kilda by 25 points.
I can still remember when I first saw the game. Remember just how good the feeling was. I was never quite...
Welcome back to Waverley Park. St Kilda by 25 points, 10-7 to Carlton, 6-6. Prize money for the winners tonight in the Ansett Australia Cup, $105,000 to the club. And the team finishing runner-up, $80,000. So they're playing for high stakes. Nathan Burke hasn't come out after half-time. By coming out, he's sitting on the interchange dugout. The rest of the players out there. He does seem to have his thigh bandage and suffering a bit from blurred vision, so maybe a double whammy there for Nathan Burke. And Fraser Brown probably only played 10 minutes tonight. Burke at least was able to contribute, wasn't he, for the Saints? They got a fair bit out of Burke. Kicked the first goal and then got a lot of touches, 7 kicks, 5 handballs, whereas from Brown's point of view and Carlton's, they really got nothing out of him at all. So whilst the ledger, I guess, in a way, Lee, you'd say squared with Burke off for Brown, at least the Saints got a half of football out of Burke.
Well, they did, yes. They got the extra quarter. They got the lead, importantly, so they've got the momentum and the break. Now it's a bit of a mismatch in the midfield. Of course, Harvey's still there. And as I said, Kudafidis is going in for Carlton. I'd be thinking about putting Kudafidis to centre-half forward or something for Carlton. They've got to get something through that line if they're to kick enough to overtake St Kilda.
Start of the second half of the Ansett Australia Cup Final. 10-7, 6-6. Vidovic Allen starting for the Blues. Devonport hard at it. Koutafidis, one hand, clever. Kernahan out of centre half forward for that opening bounce. Beveridge, Harvey, well played. Zilla, who was very good in the first half, kept it down. Winmar onto it. Just Smith and Winmar probably made a bit of a mess of that. Christou was manhandled by Smith and had Zilla running hard at him and gets a free kick. Rice on his own. Not a good kick by Christou. Gave Harvey a real chance. There was a lazy old kick and he punched it out of play. Harvey suffering a bit, just winded momentarily. His statistics in the first half, 4 kicks and 7 handballs. Light on for him. He still contributed.
Well done doing yours, St.Kilda!
So you can hear Brian Sheehan telling that Stephen Kernahan, the Vidovic, to get the free kick at half-back. Centre wing, Sierakowski tries to get rid of Sexton. Ratton, Hogg just turned his back. Ratton was feeling for him. Hogg took the hard bump, held his ground well, got it back to Ratton. He just played the percentages in the end and pushed it forward about 10 metres out of play. It's a real little goer, isn't he, Matthew Hogg? He used as a very good run-with player or tagger, depending on what term you want to use, and also a bit of a pinch hitter, can kick a goal. Koutafidis goes to ground, puts Rice under the hammer a bit. Rice works at the centre wing, brings it back in cleverly towards Kernahan. With him, Shanahan, chance for the Saints to run off here. Important ball. Eva had a bit of fumbles. And that's what we weren't seeing last year when Carlton was stringing together all those wins.
Yeah, the slight fumble, and again the St Kilda desperation just to draw a ball up from a dangerous situation.
Here's the umpires, Kerry Sheehan, Nash, Kernahan. Ruck work, beaten by Vidovic. Trionides, and he kicks it wide. Lee, I've just noticed that Camporelli's gone forward and also Sexton, and they've both kicked goals in this competition by going forward.
And Heaver, who a year or two ago before he broke his leg was a very dangerous small forward, and Kernahan out at centre half forward. I'm not quite sure these days whether Stephen Kernahan can really make it happen at centre half forward on the big ground at Waverley.
Koutafidis starting to get some important touches early in this third quarter to Sexton. High ball. Vidovic sits underneath it and takes an easy mark. Also, Devonport's gone on to Winmar, and he's going to have his job cut out because he really does bolt away. Makes the chaser be honest, kicks it out wide. Christou keeps his feet. Porton in that situation turns back onto his left foot, hooks it round. Murphy, and a lovely kick from Christou. Bit of a build-up here from Carlton. Vidovic has to sit over the top of Kernahan again and helps out Shanahan. And that sort of kicking to the big marking ruckman sitting across half-back. Off to Winmar. Devonport, as I said, will have his job cut out. Bardsley kicks it long. Fairly wide and out of bounds. So, a bit of unproductive kicking here at the moment, the start of this third quarter. Pretty tense start though, as we look at young McLean in the foreground there for St Kilda. So still the 25-point margin, just over 17 minutes. Allen and Sierakowski. Daniels under pressure. Ball's tapped back. Harvey bursts through. Daniels with a quick kick, scrubbers it forward. Mann into the path of Spalding. Handball misses. Rice almost collects it. Still at centre half forward. Off to Hogg. Hogg chips in the way of Brad Pearce. Under pressure from Nils. Forced to the ground. Recovers. Races away. Banana kick. Left foot check side. And has been played the mark, Everett. Now plays on. Oh, he's going to call this. He actually did fumble it a bit, didn't he? Didn't take it cleanly. And in that split second, the boundary umpire has said that he was 1 1/10 centimetres over the line when he did it. Oh well. Heaver, quick kick. Misses. First score to Carlton this quarter.
This first goal of this quarter become absolutely critical to give Carlton hope, and of course St Kilda get it. They get an extra lead. I would have thought he pretty much controlled it from first grab, that one.
Oh, big call from the umpire, wasn't it? If I had the trigonometry book out, I think I probably would have called it out of bounds, but I mean, that's pretty tough.
10-7, 6-7. Pickett just got it through towards Beveridge, but put him under enormous pressure. Play on called. Daniels away. Handball's a beauty. To Harvey. Harvey's kick is excellent. McLaren to Winmar. High ball to full forward. Low. Can't get a crack at it at all. Sporting probably should have taken it. Hickmott got a bit rattled. Try Needies. This is okay. Have a look at this one. From nowhere at all. It's a big blow, that one. Doesn't put Carlton out for the count, but sends them back to the ropes, reeling really. At 5 goals the difference again. And just the way it's happening for the Saints. Winmar off the ground in the Aussie Jones direction. Beveridge courageously lost one boot, came through. Everett after it. On the left foot. Hickmott takes the mark. And halfback gets it to centre wing. Allen the target. Trinedes always outnumbered, was able to bring it to ground basically. Murphy had a fumble. Trinedes brilliant. They got him in the pre-draft. Look at the kick, it's a beauty. Stewie couldn't quite. Someone's got to feed off him. Smith, could he give it up to Sirakovsky? Not much running speed there. And he's gone. Hickmott's got it away.
Kick puts it out into the path of Christou. Has to stop and wait. Sexton surprised the Shepherd. Now kicks it long and high. Once again, Kerner has to take on the two of them. Oh, brilliantly read by Heaver. 30 metres out, kicks it as goal. Oh, great running goal from Brett Heaver. And Lee, you mentioned that a goal kicking half forward.
He has been a goal kicking forward pocket play. Broke his leg, of course, was it, if not last year, the year before, and he's really struggled to come back from that. But he's a very dangerous ground level forward, and exactly what Carlton need tonight, because really they not marking the ball that well, and they need that crumbing goal, which Heaver has given them to, again, to just make up for that last St Kilda goal.
Trading blows, aren't they, these two clubs tonight? 11-7 to 7-7. Carlton coming back quickly. Beveridge has been hard at it in this term in the middle. And if you were a newcomer or a fringe player at St Kilda, wouldn't you be working at 100 miles an hour to try and be a part of this team at the moment? So exciting for them, but Carlton are still very much in this match. Allen in the centre. Goes to Kernahan. It's a good mark. Now Lowe kicked a goal from about here in the second term. Maybe a metre or two closer. And Malcolm, you made the point at the time that Lowe wasn't one of the longest kicks in the game. Well, neither's Kernahan. And this is about the range where he can be inaccurate, where he just wants that extra 2 or 3 metres.
There's one player who can actually scuns the kick 50 metres more than most. He often mistimes it. They don't spin well, although that one has.
He's kicked that one strongly. Just missing. Yeah, he's floated a lot through from 50 metres over the years, hasn't he?
Yeah, very much. Although he got onto that one and spun the very nice drop punt, but very hard to kick accurately from the 50-metre line at any time.
One day, Malcolm, he'll say, I was there the night when the Saints played in that grand final.
Pickett again to Daniels. Back to Pickett. Oh, that's a lovely kick. He is beautiful kick. Wakeland chips it for Harvey and finds that player. So the smooth play of Robert Harvey kicks it forward. Everett, Spalding. Oh, it's just too big. That's a terrific half. Kicks it. Joel Smith is a clever player. He's a real clever player, but he's just missed this. And a quick replying point from the Saints.
Hasn't Everett got a great ability to hold his height? I mean, a lot of tall players, they sort of get buffeted at the lower part of their torso and they lose their extreme height, but he can reach up and hold his height.
Silvani. Called by his sobriquet there, by the umpire, Nash, telling Sauce to hurry up. Sirakovsky in the pocket, Christou, Smith. Still in play, or is it a free kick to Christou? He's got it. Just worked on that one, I think, Ange. To Sexton. Gets away to centre wing. Peckett and Koutafidis out of play. So we've been going for about 8 minutes. Carlton has picked 1 point back only. They're back to 24 points.
Surakoski pitcher. Allen comes along. Sorry. Uses his body well. Camporelli's off. Onto his left foot. Kernahan almost falls to Vidovic. Swings the ball back around. Back to the wing from whence it came. Over the back is Murphy. Under pressure. Pinched by Beveridge. Sets up Daniels. Daniels gives it to Everett. Now swings around in the low direction. Silvani's right there. Great contest from behind. Silvani looking for options. Back to Murphy. Has to unload it quickly. Great team play here by the Blues. They should get out of this. There's enough of them there. And the kick just a bit high for the half-forward line. Vidovic scores some problems at the back this quarter. Cutting them off. Now kicks it back. Surakoski in position. Can't grab hold of it. Now gives it off to Zilla. Onto his left foot. Everett. Good mark in front this time by Spalding. And Earl Spalding just released a dangerous build-up there and kicks it to Hogg.
Under pressure from Zilla. Turned him around pretty well. Hogg, the handball's a beauty. Camporelli took one stride and bounced it away to full forward. Slipping Pearce. Neal just has to steady up here. He had Vidovic, had he been able to get it to him, but Daniels will be good enough, I feel. Back to Vidovic. Fumbles. Heaver at him. Vidovic's big body was able to hold them off. Daniels there. Sexton in the pocket. Koutafidis and Neal. Neal goes to the boundary line. He's going to get it.
Feel as though the game's opening up a bit there, Lee, don't you? I mean, there's a bit more open space for players.
It is a bit. I mean, the last 2 times Carlton have come forward, they just haven't kicked the ball accurately to their forward leading teammate, and they have to pick up that precision.
Vidovic at the back of Ben Sexton. Heaver and Bardsley. It's close to the line. And over, so another boundary throw in. Play Devonport. Sitting down with Fraser Brown and Justin Madden. Sexton well played. Vidovic took it out of the air. Little kick. Michael Sexton to Murphy at centre wing. Murphy gives it off. Here's Christou.
Big kick. Players have to sit and wait. Third in line, Wakeland punched it. Great handball. Sexton onto his left foot. Slams out a goal. And I think he's got it. Oh, the Blues are back in this.
Square. This will be a difficult ball. Neal wants the behinds or out of bounds, one or the other, and finds it out of play.
Got exactly the situation for St Kilda where the on-field generalship becomes absolutely critical. You can see they're just a little panicky all of a sudden because they've built up the lead and Carlton are coming at them, and the leaders of St Kilda have to hold it together during this period.
Just saw Jim Steins a moment ago. Brownlow medalist looking on. Involved in the first match of the season on Friday night. The centenary season when Melbourne played Geelong. So Carlton 50 metres from goal. Allen was in the front spot. Harvey, just a little one. Ben Sexton. Wakeland with him. Kernahan, good tackle. Zilla can't quite get through. Shanahan off the ground. Hickmott back. Was going to handball to Camporelli, decided to just kick it up in the air. Kernahan works to the front. Shanahan gets it back to Hickmott. Smith won a free kick courageously.
Here's one of the exciting youngsters from St Kilda, Joel Smith. Kicks in the Everett low direction. Why wouldn't you? Pack of players. Manton has to kick it and played a free kick down ground. So a bit of angst behind the play there from Peter Everett.
Kind of lack of discipline in this situation. I mean, they're already under a little bit of pressure. You've got to be really careful you're not giving away kicks down the field or 50-metre penalties or the like.
So Camporelli. Pearce with the set. Goes early. Can't grab hold of it. Winmar there to support. Comes on the left side. Handballs to the boundary line. Races on. Rice attacks it. Bardsley attacks him. And both forced over the boundary line. Stan, I'd suggest the heart starts to palpitate a bit now, Lee, doesn't it?
Well, when you build up the lead and they're coming at you, you know, you think we've done the hard work and they're coming at you. Yeah, now is when, if you're going to panic, this is when you panic.
Boundary throw in. Packer players. Oh, that's clever from Becker. Trianides. Lowe can't grab hold of it. Bad bounce there for all players, really. And once again, Joe McLaren forces it over the line.
He looks a really good pickup, Trianides, doesn't he, for the March draft or the post-season draft. I mean, very balanced, very agile, seems to have good ball control, very impressive player.
Lowe and Silvani well up the ground at centre wing. Lowe went to ground. Silvani maintained his footing relatively. Finally went down, but got it towards Murphy. Hip and shouldered by Daniels, good. See Beveridge just off the ground for St Kilda, and another throw-in. So the Saints in a holding pattern here, aren't they? 3 goals in front.
I spoke about this need for leadership, and Stuart Lowe's been pushed right up the field now, and I think that's one of the reasons. You've got to get your leaders into the situation to help those around you to keep their composure.
And one of their co-captains off the ground and probably not to come back, Burke. He's always in the thick of things.
And I think one of the, if it was going to be a criticism, is that have St Kilda got enough of these on-field generals, and one of them, like Burke off the ground, is going to, someone else has to stand up and provide that role.
Conversely, of course, Bradley Williams missing for Carlton.
They were already missing, yeah.
Christou, Zilla well done, as he's done so often tonight. Camporelli, McLaren to Jones, keeps it towards the wing. Good take by Everett, he's going to get a free kick. The Sporting Everett clash is becoming a very important one. They're played on quickly. Daniels at 50, over the top to Jones. In the pocket, he's going to take Randon, and goal ticket!
So St Kilda back to that 4 goals, and Lee, it wasn't one of the leaders, but it was an exciting youngster, which is great for footy. Hogg attacks it, overruns it, ball put in underneath. Whitehead gives it up a bit easy. Christou. Now Whitehead again for a second chance, and a third. That's pretty good stuff in the end. Falls to Joel Smith, one of these other kids. Oh, that's just poise. Daniels somehow or other controls it. Kicks it, hugs the boundary line. Low! And he is a leader. That is a terrific mark.
Again, like Everett, when he's got his hands in the air, he's still strong, isn't he? Very strong arms above his head.
5 kicks and 5 marks, but 3 goals. So probably the most improved player kicking for goal in the competition in the last 3 seasons. Done a lot of work on it. Kicks. This is going to go to the front of the square. Off the player's hands. Murphy tries to dribble it round. McLaren runs onto it and then forced over the line. So right on the 50-metre line, and the Saints with that very important goal as Carlton came at them. The closest they've been 18 points, which was for some time. And they manufactured another one. Daniels snaps! Snap! Oh, great goal from Jason Daniels. Threw it onto the boot, and somehow or other it found the goal line.
Well, Jason Daniels, as we know, has been tagging Anthony Koutafidis, and it was Daniels who pushed off Koutafidis into the forward line that set up the goal for Jones. And then obviously just from a pack situation, he's grabbed the ball. He tends to hook his kick as a natural kicking action, so it suited that where he kicked the ball from. And those 2 goals absolutely critical for St Kilda in the outcome of the game.
Out to 5 goals, the Saints. Vidovic wins it. Winmar charges towards goal. Everett after it, he's got it.
I was just trying to think, seeing him fit in this Ansett Cup, I can't remember a bigger bloke taking so many kicks low down.
Well, I was talking the other day about how his mobility would be compared to a Corey McCurtain, the North Melbourne big fella. I mean, he's average a couple of inches bigger, and I think he lacks nothing for McCurtain. And a very tall centre-half forward at Waverley usually struggles. I mean, he's a very agile big fella. He's built like a ruckman, but he's playing well as a marking forward.
14-8 to 8-8. 3 goals to Everett. 3-goal lead suddenly becomes 6. It's happened very quickly, hasn't it?
Still Winmar again. Set it up, holds onto the ball.
And Lee, top mark by Everett. Look at Winmar's reaction when Everett made it. Took the mark.
The best kicks of the ball, wait the kick to give their forward an advantage, and that's exactly what Winmar did. Everett didn't let him down.
Oh, exciting 3 or 4 minutes here from St Kilda. Carlton try and answer this challenge now. Harvey off to Daniels. Kicks too high for Lowe. Silvani back onto it. The Carlton defence is under enormous pressure. And Stewie, that was probably a little bit too much pressure. Just nudged him in the back. And that's a pretty fair call from Peter Carey. Daniels under pressure. Kicks it forward. Hickmont falls over. They try and bottle it up. Comes out, Harvey. Gives it to Zilla. Lowe grabs some yards to Smith. Kicks it back to the front of the square. To Winmar. Can he do some magic here? Hands and knees, looking for the free kick. Just couldn't keep his legs at the vital stage. And this pressure is now building on Carlton. Everett tall. Trionedes, a quick kick out of the pack. Oh, that's a free kick of Art. Give him the lot.
Well, it's been a long time, I would say, where the Carlton key defenders have been so badly beaten tonight, as Lowe and Everett have done to Silvani and what initially Sexton and Michael Sexton, and now to Sporting. And the last 5 minutes from Jason Daniels has been exceptional too, hasn't he? He's tagged Kutavides out of it. Now he's ran off and got some key offensive possessions himself.
Lowe with 3, and this to make it a 7-goal game. They've just split it open in the last 5 minutes. It's got it. 15 to 8. Look at that scoreline. St Kilda 7 goals in front. Very deep into the third term. The advantage given to the Blues. Ben Sexton from 48 metres hooks it and scores it behind. Kicked a goal in this term. It's Carlton claw their way back to a 3-goal game, but it's blown right out. Peckett, whose accuracy conversion in this situation would be about 97%, you'd think.
One of those specialist kicker-inners that are now involved in league footy.
Bardsley just hugs the boundary. Robert Newell. They've got good distance here, actually, St Kilda. They're outside 50 as Newell's able to kick it to centre wing. Wakeland, this has been his best match in the Ansett series. Goes to half forward. Lowe trying to get rid of Silvani. Christou helped out. Murphy back to Christou. High ball, centre wing. Wakeland's in the box seat. Comes over the top of Hogg. It was a hot ball for Camporelli. Trinides sweeps a handball to Brown. He's just come onto the ground. Keeps it low. Well kicked. Sirakoski just struggled tonight, Sirakoski. He's the one St Kilda player hasn't quite been able to maintain the pace and rhythm. That's a poor handball by Sporting. Christou's onto it. Brown chases him out towards the boundary line and forces an error. Out on the full. Still to kick it in.
One thing we say across half-back, you need good attacking players who can set up. And now that Sporting's at centre half-back, he hasn't played too badly, but his end disposal is always likely to let him down, as the handball did on that occasion, which put Christou under pressure.
So the kick in towards Lowe. Sexton there to help out Silvani. Pinch. Tony Brown on his left foot. Bang through another one for the seam. Oh, the youngster, the Geelong under-18 youngster, has got a couple of important touches since coming onto the ground. And the margin almost out to 8 goals. Who would have believed this some 8 or 9 minutes ago?
Well, I think it was mentioned before the need for leadership and generalship. Well, St Kilda have got it. They've kept their composure when Carlton came at them early in the quarter, and I think this circumstance now, they're just really forging away, and an 8-goal lead, Carlton would have to do something very, very special to get back from here.
It's almost a W score job. St Kilda's forwards are actually manhandling the Carlton defence. They're too strong for them. I mean, legitimately, they're throwing them off the ball. Low with Sexton there, he just forced the error. Camporelli to Whitehead. Whitehead to Hogg. Hogg sweeps it wide again to Camporelli. Where can something come from for Carlton? A little bit of inspiration. Now Pearce at 60. It's not happening, is it? Neil held it up. Pearce and Lynn got in each other's way. Just panic setting in for the Blues. And Zilla will be very happy. He's played a good game tonight. 13 kicks he's had, Zilla. He's been at it all night. And this magnificent crowd must be close to 70,000 people. I've seen St Kilda turn the Blues inside out in this third term. After setting up a good lead early, Carlton were coming back. Harvey, brilliant. There's good shepherding by Shanahan off the ball too to give it back to Brown. Then to Harvey's kick to Everett's a good one. To Colossus Everett. What a star he's going to be in this competition. Lowe's got it. It's champagne footy.
Everett looks like he's got super glue on those gloves, doesn't he? Just clunking the ball.
You just get the feeling, Lee, that you're seeing somebody who's emerging very quickly as a major player in the game.
Well, it's very hard, I believe, for a player of maybe the old language, 6'6", 6'7", to play as a key forward. But Everett, the way he's played this pre-season competition, looks like he might be capable of doing it. Terribly hard to match him up. Michael Sexton's a very, very good tall defender, and Everett is just damaging very badly early on.
Lowe going for his fifth. It's just thumped it through. But tonight it's actually taken it to another level again.
Confidence is a great thing. I mean, gradually over a couple of years he's got his confidence to kick it 30 or 40 metres straight, and now, you know, he gets out towards the 50-metre line. He still looks like being able to keep it on line.
6 goals in 11 minutes, our statistician just tells us. Everett and Lowe between them have got 8 goals. Gee, this is exciting to watch, to be present here tonight and seeing St Kilda doing what they're doing in this third term.
Yes, just when you thought Carlton were getting back into it too, and then Lee talked about leadership, and it's come from all over the ground. Isn't the Carlton defence stand coming down?
I think we often mistake that leadership should come from your captain. It has to come from every player, really, that composure under pressure, and I think would be very gratifying for St Kilda and Stan Elves to see that happen.
Kick forward, Sexton. Wakeland puts really good pressure on him from behind. Ends up with Daniels. And the kick falls short. Can't grab hold of it. Hickmont under pressure. Back to the centre. Allen forced underneath it by Vidovic. Somehow or other wins it. That's terrific. Daniels has been a good player. Zilla. Nicky Winmar has marked before the siren. So this sensational end of the quarter by the Saints. Stan, don't look. He'll kick it.
Coaches keep their composure a bit, but I bet Stan's heart is pumping when you see what the guys have done in the last 10 minutes. It's just a fantastic feeling, isn't it, Malcolm?
Oh, great. Nicky Winmar, deliberate. Just didn't quite get there. So the score remains 17-8 to 8-9, and the crowd goes absolutely berserk with this wonderful 11 or 12-minute burst from St Kilda, and the Blues very forlorn with their lot at the moment. But Saints have been terrific, and that man has too.
Well, really, they've struggled all night, Carlton, but they did struggle manfully and really got themselves, at least in the game, on the field, if not quite on the scoreboard early in that quarter. But St Kilda, I mean, that's often you find it goes in ebbs and flows. No side dominates for the whole game, but St Kilda, the way they started the game, I think was indicative of just their desire to what they wanted to do tonight. And when the pressure really come, you know, it was important enough to them. They stood up. got the 1 goal, got the 2 goals, and then off they've gone again.
And away they have gone. They lead by 53 points. The Blues are in a very big hole here at three-quarter time. It's St Kilda 17-8, Carlton 8-9.
There'll never be a better game than the game we have today.
St Kilda fans will have the second half of that quarter in the memory bank for a long, long time. 17-8, 110. Carlton kicked just 2-3. They are 8-9, 57. It's certainly going to be talked about by the Sports World footy panel on Sports World tomorrow. So join Rex and the boys as they will also preview the centenary season. St Kilda certainly looking to be one of the improvers. Let's have a look at the scoring events in that third quarter. St Kilda in the green. As you can see, it was steady as she goes early on in the term, with Carlton closing the gap to get to within 18 points and challenging. Suddenly, the Saints went into overdrive, and what a performance it was as they've opened up a commanding lead. And there are the St Kilda hierarchy preparing themselves for the final quarter. Don't tell me Russell Morris knew something prior to the start of this game. You're certainly dressed for it, Russell.
Sandy, get the heavy springs on that bandwagon, mate. I'm jumping right on it. And it looks like, obviously, well, it's not obvious, but 8 goals in front. Looks like a good grand final win for St Kilda.
Shell-shocked them, but David Parkin did say the work and commitment this last quarter is very important for them as well.
Good on you, Russell, and Robert, the Big Dipper. 17-8, 8-9, 53 points. Final term, Vidovic and Allen. Vidovic's had a big match. Came out to Whitehead on the left foot. Sexton his target. This is a Ben Sexton. Wakeland running him very wide. Sexton back to centre half forward. Good take by Hogg in front of Brown. 60 metres from goal. Kernahan goes one way, then decides against. He's called to play on Hogg. Kernahan works to the front spot, takes the mark on his chest in the end. A couple of first half goals to Kernahan, one in the opening term. And then one right on half time, which we felt would give Carlton a lot of heart at the time. That's one of those Kernahan specialties. Wouldn't believe it, would you, Lee? How many has he kicked over the years?
I believe in a lot of those floating scungy kicks that looks like a bit like the old days, Peter Hudson's flat punts, that as long as it does, it just goes to show the ball doesn't have to spin nicely as long as everything's straight, doesn't it? And every now and again Kernahan kicks a goal like that. But really the front position, I mean, Shanahan's done an excellent job on him, and really just on that occasion the ball dropping short, and Kernahan got the front position and obviously was able to protect the ball onto his chest and eventually goal.
Yes. Much needed goal from Carlton. Interesting stat in that third quarter, Lee, was 20 marks to 7 in St Kilda's way. So it kicks forward again. Ball's punched wide by Silvani. Christou really worked overtime at the back. Wonderful kick to set up Sexton. Harvey just got a hand on it and pushed it, and Ratton sees it over the line.
I think importantly about that marking statistics too, they were actually key forwards marking it, not little blokes out on the wing. You know, the marks are different if they're in a contest within scoring shot of goal.
Sure. And interesting, the first goal from Carlton was from 2 marks. Yep. And Kernahan's still kicked 3 goals though, hasn't he? He's a great player. Pack of players. Absolute pack of them.
I suppose Kernahan's conversion had 5 kicks and kicked 3 goals too, so at least he hasn't a lot of the ball, but at least he scored when he's got it.
Break clear. Ratton. Been disciplined, Wakeland. Thumped it towards the boundary line. I think Winmar will be happy to let that go. And Nicky Winmar, all class. St Kilda supporter. I think he looked a bit anxious there. Not enough, they reckon. See, I'd take it now if they gave it to me. Boundary throw-in. Must be 20 players around that ball. Lynn tries to get it going. Zilla works hard. Harvey tries to protect the ball. Zilla comes in to help again. Stands, kicks, finds Daniels. Off to Tony Brown. The little left footer races away. Koutafidis in hot pursuit. Great chase from Koutafidis. Sets up Smith. Smith in the low direction. Push shove. Silvani over the back. Race to the boundary line and the ball beats everyone.
I wonder whether if Cooter had had the ball that Brown would have been able to catch him. I don't know whether Cooter chased that hard in that particular occasion.
Yes, that's. I think it's a cold night. It's not tears, I'm sure.
Willing him to kick it.
So Silvani and low. Over the back was McLean. Silvani throws it onto the boot. That was a high tackle holding the ball, so the umpire calls a bounce.
About 45 metres from St Kilda's goal. Sitting on a nearly 8-goal lead here. Sexton. Got rid of it in a hurry. Joel Smith. Well played, actually. Left foot. Low worked underneath it by Silvani, who concedes a behind from a fair way out. There's some element of risk in that. Had the ball stopped on him, he's able to get it there. Great night for the family to be out here tonight on a perfect evening. Lots of youngsters enjoying the evening, and certainly many thousands of St Kilda fans are going to be rejoicing tonight. Manton played in a couple of premierships at this level, night premiership level, at Essendon. Vidovic. High tackle there. In fact, Spalding twice at Melbourne played in night premierships. Manton a couple of times at Essendon, and Justin Madden at Essendon way back in 1981. They're the only 3 players out there on either team who's actually won a night flag. Spalding into the centre, marked by Winmar. He must have been in front for the Michael Tuck medal at half-time, and I think emotionally there'll be a lot going towards him when that vote's given tonight. Everett, Spalding, out of play, about 80 metres from St Kilda's goal. The score here, 17-9 to 9-9.
Well, I saw you shake your head then with Everett. You start to flirt with your form sometimes, don't you? I mean, he's been in such great form, and he's in good touch. You think, I'll grab this one hand, and it just doesn't quite come off.
You get 2 hands to it whenever you can.
Yes, indeed. Oh, Harvey, somehow or other kept it in. Brown back to Harvey. Quick kick. Oh, in front low. Paddles it round Silvani, and then kicks at it goal, but miscues, crossed the face. Great chase. Christou working hard again. Oh, overrun it. Trinides. Great chase again from Christou. That is fantastic. Sexton tries to set up Allen. Back to Hickmont. Now sets apart Murphy, and Murphy can set this up.
Centre half forward. Kernahan the target, just floated in the end of the ball. Shanahan with him, Kernahan in front. Shanahan keeping the pressure on. Getting back there was Peckett and Winmar, ran across in front of Kernahan. Newell caught by Pearce. Peckett, Devonport puts the pressure on him. Still with Devonport, the little gift to Whitehead in the pocket. Centres the ball, looking for maybe Lynn. Shanahan with a backhand, it was a good one. Pearce, Neil after him. Pearce a long way from goal. Left foot high around the body. Bardsley courageously, almost. Good handball to Lynn. Lynn's wobbly one, a little hooker in the end, is a behind. And Carlton 9-10 to 17-9. So still working out at the Blues.
Committed team St Kilda when Bardsley ran back with the flight of the ball just to, again, to make it a contest. I mean, even though they're 8 goals in front, he's still doing the right desperate things which they've been doing all night, St Kilda.
And once again, the set-up play out wide to Neil, to Daniels. Got on the end of a few of those, Jason Daniels. Terrific set play out of the back line, particularly when he controlled the ball. Big kick. Hickmont punches from behind. McLean taps it in front of him. Oh, Manton does well. Bryce is flat-footed. Now Allen, and call play on now. Advantage rule played. Manton. Kernahan has to shield his eyes from the light. Camporelli and Zilla, the 2 former teammates at Woodville West Torrens. Peckett underneath it. Oh, cool. Here's a cool player. Bardsley hard and running, as he's done most of the night. Kicks it out wide. Tony Brown Winmar shepherds brilliantly off the ball. Really does set this up for Lowe. Can't quite grab hold of it. Spalding to Silvani. Once again, the advantage is played. Whitehead ends up with it and can take a breather because Hogg's well by himself.
Takes the mark, goes to ground. Now on with it. Pearcey's target. He sat and waited for it. Neil with him. And out of play.
Against that imprecise kick, wasn't it? I mean, it was a good lead. It only had to be a weighted kick, but it dropped at Pearce's feet. I mean, the Carlton position of their forward line is not tonight what we usually expect of them.
Wakeland and Allen. Allen over the back. Aussie Jones. Daniels. Sexton after it. Peckett with him, pushes him to the ground. Then puts a tackle on him. It's a good contest between the two.
Kudafis has left the ground. That might be the ultimate compliment to Jason Daniels to have your opponent removed from the ground.
He's had a couple of big scalps in this Ansett Cup, hasn't he? Darren Jarman in Adelaide. Camporelli slung but gets good distance. Neil goes to the thumb. Daniels. Rice all over him. And the free kick's now going to go to Carlton to Rice. With Neil coming in late.
When you're ready, Saga. Saga, when you're ready. When you're ready.
So both Madden and Kudafidis, the fours, 44 and 43 coming back on. It's Daniels. It's Rice getting rid of him. And the kicking in danger. The short pass attempted to Pearce. It didn't come off. Shanahan under pressure. Good defensive kick, actually. He's got the ball towards the boundary line. And out of play. Great night for St Kilda. Fantastic burst of 6 goals in 11 minutes. When the stakes were at their highest in that third quarter.
Yes, indeed. Madden, Vidovic. Played very well, Vidovic. Madden spent some time on the bench. Does that pretty well, the big fella. Whacks it onto the left foot. Running towards goal. Kernahan tried to give the 1-2. Rice in underneath it. Now gives it up. Harvey. Breaks a lot of tackles, Robert Harvey. Very strong on the hips. And cool and brilliant. Daniels caught. Falls to Hogg. Sees a player out wide, but it's 2 on to 1 out there. And the Terrier, Bardsley, takes his time. He really can set this up as he bounces through the wing. Now kicks over the players' heads. Everett there. Taps it on. No one there to support. And that's out on the full light, suggests from Earl Spalding. And... oh, OK. So free kick to Earl Spalding. Not much on offer. Justin Madden, late. Devonport kicks it quickly forward. Peckett. Been a really good player, Justin Peckett.
I wonder, Malcolm, about any time now. I think both teams start thinking about next week. I think the game is probably just about decided, and you start thinking about well, who needs a bit of a spell just to finish out the game.
Yes, 11 minutes and 9 seconds, and you can just imagine all the St Kilda supporters as Zilla gives it to Jones. They'll be really excited about all this, lapping it up. Oh! That is a fantastic mark from Stewie Lowe. He wasn't sure whether it was out of bounds or not. It's now called play on to Zilla. Zilla chips. Great kick, son. Actually, some of their team stuff in front of goals has been very, very disciplined, hasn't it?
Giving it to the player in the best position rather than blazing away from the non-percentage positions. St Kilda have done that extremely well.
I honestly thought a few of the players might have thought that was out of bounds on the full, but Stewie had Zilla running for him, and so Jason Traianides kicked one in the third quarter. On his left foot, kicks. The crowd's happy behind the goals because they're happy for anything at St Kilda.
Got to be the Carlton people behind the goals, brother.
Any score will do them right now. So the youngster misses. Thank you very much for that.
Pearce looked like off the ground there, having a stretch. May have cramped by the look of him. Christou went long, but only to Sirakovsky. Just through low, but oh, here's a wonderful chance for Smith. He's got it. Goals, the Saints in front. 18 goals, 10 to 9-10. Menden Vidovic. Zilla's played outstandingly well. Had the strength to hold himself up. Harvey weaves some magic on his left foot. Jones and Hogg. So quick, Aussie. Quick left footer. Winmar couldn't quite take it. Hickmont has had a fit of the fumbles a couple of times tonight. Low brilliant to Winmar. Winmar's floater inside 50. Neil courageously. Spalding tries to get through, gives it to Manton to Rice. Advantage given, and Christou away at half-back. Goes up to Spalding all on his own. Just keeps going, doesn't he, Earl Spalding? Doesn't stop, one of the fittest men in the league. Missed by Lynn. Ricochets to Kernahan. Kernahan's little pass towards Koutoufides. Wakeland to get back, should mop up comfortably. Really could have done better, actually. Daniels just paving the way behind him, but he's played well, Wakeland. Will be a hard man to criticise him tonight. Nathan Burke's number there. Fear for Burke a bit tonight. Not only the blurred vision, I think he's got an injury. He's been limping, and it looks like his knee, thigh area very heavily bandaged. Let's hope he's okay.
Pickett to Bardsley, has time to recover. Goes towards the boundary line, and Vidovic under pressure from Madden, can't hang on to it. Justin comes back hard, then paddles it to himself and is paid the free kick. Great experience.
Bit of double team act, isn't it? Madden and Allen both against Vidovic, and I think Vidovic's come out on top of both of them.
Yeah, I think Allen had a good patch there in that second quarter, but Vidovic's done a lot of good work across half-back, cutting it off. A lot of body work used there. Shanahan hard at it, so's Kernahan. Really, the St Kilda, for any type of glory whatsoever, 30 years is a long time, and Vidovic certainly getting a well-earned rest there. Kernahan tries to hook it back. Lynn does keep it in cleverly, kicks it high, falls to Whitehead, breaks clear, gives it to Camporelli under pressure. Sexton around the body, but just kicks it wide too. Another Carlton player in the pocket. It's Adrian Whitehead, who was part of that first one. Moved pretty quickly to get back there.
Carlton haven't suffered defeat, as we know, since almost midway through last season. I think the Carlton side at the moment, in the positions they're playing, is a long time since the Carlton side has had such a mishmash of players in different positions. Koutoufides at full forward, Camporelli up in the forward pocket.
Yes, we all go, ooh, just a point there. So 18-10, 9-12.
Daniels. Puts Winmar under the hammer, but he's earned a free kick. Just such a feel for what's around him, Winmar, doesn't he? His orientation's always spot on. Just knew what he had to do there to almost suck a free kick out of him. Bardsley to Pickett. Plenty of spaces now for the Saints. Half forward. Through Manton. McLean on the ground. Manton under pressure.
Players get a bit nervous when they turn towards the boundary because they're a bit scared of being pinned for the deliberate out of bounds, and they really, well, they're not allowed to play it out of bounds, but they put themselves under pressure by being too careful sometimes.
Manton's quick kick. Back to McLean. Lynn onto him. And Manton with Trianides, and now Christou joining in. Not too happy, I think, about Trianides falling onto Manton. About a throw.
Oh, beautifully read by Jones. Floats it forward, and unfortunately didn't quite hit it right, and out on the fall. Yes, they're starting to develop, some of these youngsters, aren't they? They fleet of foot, usually pretty good skills. Spalding. Madden underneath it. Punched. Jones again. Back to McLaren, front of the goal square. That's a lovely spot. Players can run to it from everywhere. Silvani, Christou. Ends up back with Silvani, who kicks hurriedly. Bardsley gets in front. Hock reads it beautifully and just wobbles the kick to Zilla. Playing in front. Goes after it again. Great perseverance to McLean. To Bardsley. Quick kick forward. Lowe has to stand and wait. Now runs at it. Now runs at it and deserves a free kick. Just sometimes on the ground you see a bloke written, "This is my footy," and invariably ends up with it.
I think tonight the St Kilda players as a team have been that way, haven't they? They've had eyes for the ball and they've gone at it hard and they've been rewarded. Played in front all night. You see Brad Pearce down on the full back line. As I said, the Carlton side is in a lot of positions at the moment. We're not going to see them too often.
So Stewie Lowe. You'd think with his kicking tonight, this would be absolute soda. He has kicked brilliantly. Very deliberate. Kicks. The goal umpire has not moved. 6 to Stewie.
So Lowe with 6 goals tonight. He's kicked 21 goals in the 4 Ansett Australia Cup matches, and he missed out completely against West Coast. So in 3 of those games, he's gone at 8, 7 and 6. Free kick to the Blues. But it's the Saints that are celebrating. They're getting very close to an historic achievement for them. Almost Winmar under pressure, gives it back to Neil on the left foot. Better as the game's gone on, Neil, and out of play. Just one premiership St Kilda in 1966 against Carlton's 16-day premierships. They've got the record. They won one night premierships. St Kilda was in 1958. I'm pretty sure in saying that's when the teams that didn't make the finals were involved in that series. So it's a completely different concept to this one. So in 100 years, this football club is about to go from one-day premiership to a day premiership plus an Ansett Cup. It's a tremendous moment for them. Centre wing, Manson and Sirakovsky out of play. Bruce, boy, have they earned it, Malcolm, because I reckon they made the hardest trip in Ansett football you can make, and that's to go to Adelaide.
Yeah.
They're the only team to have beaten Adelaide since Adelaide came into the competition in Adelaide in an Ansett Cup competition.
Yeah, I just think back to halfway through the year too, when they were really struggling and Stan Owls was under pressure, and they just had to hang on. And Andrew Clifton and all the board at St Kilda, I think for one time, Lee, you know, clubs chop and change. I really think that they've maintained the stability at the club, and they really are to be congratulated on this. I know this is only a stepping stone, but it's a huge one for them.
Importantly, I think they had, I think, 4 draft choices in the first 12 in what was the draft at the end of 1994, and they've drafted some very good young players, and they're starting to get that 30, 40 games under their belt and looking very confident people.
Lindholm now, the official attendance, we've just got 66,888. It's the second best ever for a night final. Clearly the second best. Only twice have we exceeded 50,000. There was 75,500 for Richmond Essendon in '93, and this is clearly the second highest attendance for a night final. 66,888. Kick out of bounds on the 4, so a blue kick back in. It's 19-10 to 9-12. So what a night, Ace. Almost a full house. There doesn't seem to be very many vacant seats. A few have left. They'll be Blue supporters or St Kilda fans. One of them would have left. They'll be looking for this lap of honour. Zilla again has knocked up getting kicks. He's had 18 kicks and 6 handballs. Low. Sure hands to Brown, who goes through. Then goes to the pocket to Everett. Good stretch. Spalding with him. Christou's kept going, hasn't he, all night? Floats one to half back. Murphy after it. And just fumbles it. Under pressure, out of play.
I think the difference tonight, Christo's been defending. He hasn't been able to get any bounce off the half-back line and really get some offence out of there. And the Carlton defence really just been under pressure to hold on rather than being able to initiate any attack.
So Stewie Lowe with 6 goals, and the gate receipts tonight were $461,000, and that's a great result. 105,000 coming to St Kilda's way as Justin Madden gets a free from in front.
400,000 worth of fireworks, I would have thought.
It was a spectacular start to the game. Great entertainment. And it will be very entertaining in Moorabbin and for all St Kilda supporters. Madden kicks and Murphy plucks it out of the air. Everett off. He's certainly earned his keep tonight. He's a big player in that third quarter revival when the Saints kicked 6 goals in 11 minutes and really did set up this magnificent win, as I'm sure it will be. As we now come down to the last 2 minutes of this game, ball's kicked to centre half forward, and that's an excellent mark from Stephen Kernahan. So the Blues skipper kicks right to the goal square, punts through, not quite. Daniels reads it beautifully. The kick wobbles. It's their night though. Trinity's under pressure. Oh, Harvey, that is brilliant. And the finish is better. Sets up McLaren. McLaren goes on his left foot. There is an absolute panic for Luke Beveridge. Spalding's after him. He's tied. Beveridge will shoot from 45. Oh, if there was a sealer. Put down your glasses now. It is dead set all over.
It's a remarkable scoreline. 20 goals, 10 to 9, 12. Almost doubled their score. 130 to 66. Heaver went off the ground. Trinity's has been very good. Kicks it inside 50. Sirakovsky getting back. Spalding's high fly. As Lee said a moment ago, he's exhausted, Spalding. Christou to centre wing. St Kilda with numbers. Heaver well played to Michael Sexton. Sexton up to about 50. Kernahan trying to turn Shanahan around. Kudafiti's little one to Kernahan. Kernahan very good. Accurate, kicks his 4th goal. Kernahan with 4. Carlton with 10. It's going to be a mighty roar here in a half a minute's time. The Saints will be celebrating a premiership. Zilla to Barsley. Let's hope they can finish off with one last goal. Sirakovsky's taken a spectacular mark. And ironically, the man, big forward, who's had very little to do with their win tonight, may have the last play. He'll kick from about 49 metres. Sure if he's going to bother. He will. 49 metres out. It matters not a thing. The Saints have won.
Playing well, isn't it? I mean, they look like there's 50,000 St Kilda supporters when that siren went. The whole ground went up.
Only Sydney last year kicked 20 goals against Carlton match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a long time. I mean, Carlton, as we know, haven't lost a competitive game. This would have been their 20th straight win, including the 3 Ansett Cup the last 16 games of last year. So, yeah, really, it was a bad night for Carlton tonight.
Let's go down and join Russell Morris, who's got Jamie Shanahan.
Jamie, how do you feel, mate? Apart from being crushed. You're a legend. Feel good, mate. Feel good. It's a good start for the club, and you know, we've got a long way to go from here. Congratulations.
We might have to leave that, unfortunately. You can imagine the enthusiasm here. Scenes that we've rarely seen recently. Normally, crowds stay off the ground, but they're just so excited. And what a moment for Stan, who said in an interesting interview during the week that he felt that the coach was under pressure, just like the players. It was his first time. He'd find out something about himself tonight.
Well, I think he found out he could prepare them for the big occasion. And they got, you know, they had the right composure, that right level of desperation and composure early in the game. I mean, particularly when their first 3 shots of goal were 3 goals. That's the kind of start. You know, Carlton's, I think, first 3 stops were 3 behinds, and that makes a big difference to convert the chances early in the game.
I think they've bloke stuck on the goalpost. Look at this little Aussie Jones.
I have not seen this for years, Bruce. This is unbelievable.
It's an avalanche of people, isn't it?
To see a club with so much potential and so much passion and emotion surrounding them. They had that wonderful period with Alan Jensen, but it's been a long drought.
Can I tell you what Stan Ells is thinking right now? We've got to play in 7 days' time, and we've got to come up with the same desperation, and we've got to enjoy this moment a little bit, but we can't enjoy it too much. You can see it in his eyes, just the way he was talking to Nicky Winmar there.
Just that difficult balancing act for him now, isn't it?
Yep.
What an act tonight they put on the Saints. We'll be back with a presentation right after this. It was the Saints 2010, the Blues 10-12.
Thank you for the tears, and I thank you just for helping us to overcome it.
St Kilda the champions to the tune of 58 points, and somewhere in that sea of faces for the presentation is Craig Willis.
Well, thank you, Sandy. It's a tad crowded down here, as you can imagine. It gives us a great deal of pleasure to invite the former Hawthorn champion and AFL Games record holder Michael Tuck to present the Michael Tuck Medal to the player adjudged best on ground tonight by an independent panel. And the winner of the Michael Tuck Medal here at the Ansett Australia Cup Grand Final is Nicky Winmar of St Kilda. I would now like to invite Mr. Hugh Thorburn, who is the Chief Operating Manager of Ansett Australia, to present the Ansett Australia Cup to the co-captains of St Kilda and their coach, Stan Alves. Hugh.
On behalf of Ansett Australia, thank you very much for coming tonight for this fantastic event. It's my pleasure to present the Ansett Cup to the winning side. Here we go. Good. Congratulations. Very well done, mate. Very well done. Well done.
I'd just like to say a few words. Just like to congratulate Carlton, the Carlton Football Club, putting up a fantastic effort today. And I'd also just like to thank all the St Kilda supporters who have come out today. Absolutely magnificent. If I could just ask you one thing, dig deep and buy a membership, because this is our year. Thank you.
The players of St Kilda Football Club have made a commitment that we're going to make St Kilda a successful football club. So we've proven our bit tonight, and we're going to go on with it. And I hope you can prove your bit and make St Kilda a strong football club up where we deserve.
Once again, congratulations, St Kilda. And shortly, hopefully, they'll be able to do a victory lap here at Waverley. They can get out off the presentation podium. That's it for the official presentation of the 1996 Ansett Australia Cup.
And so the Saints, if they can, will embark on their victory lap shortly. But these are extraordinary scenes that certainly haven't been seen in a day grand final. And I don't think so at a night grand final. As the Saints song starts up and the players involve themselves, they can enjoy tonight, but then they must look ahead to the start next week of a long, arduous home and away season. But tonight it's their night. They've waited 30 years for it. Let them enjoy it. Wonderful first half by Nicky Winmar, setting up his victory for the Michael Tuck medal. And they'll amble through this St Kilda throng, and just maybe they'll get a victory lap done. Stewie Lowe, 6 goals tonight. What an Ansett Cup he's had. Not once missing out, and culminating with a mighty final. In the closing stages of the match to a hero's welcome. He's certainly done his job in this Ansett Cup. There's so much excitement for St Kilda supporters after a long, hard road that has been pretty barren over many years. Not so in 1996 by the look of tonight. I don't know that they're going to get to do a lap of honour because this crowd, well, they're virtually covering the arena. So it looks as though the players, Dale Wakeland, are going to head straight down into the rooms, which in a way is a shame because it's always a special moment, particularly for some of these young players, Smith and Jones and co, Jason Daniels, Zilla, has come across the border and experienced the night premiership. You're certainly not going to break through that crowd, so the best thing we can do at the moment with St Kilda fans celebrating their side victorious by 58 points. We'll take a break and be back shortly. It's been a 10 out of 10 performance by St Kilda, and might a 10, of course, as the years go by, have proven to be 10 out of 10, and they're giving you the chance too to be a big winner on Friday Night Football on 7, because each Friday night 7 will present a $1,000 might a 10 gift voucher to the best banner, and I'm quite sure St Kilda fans can come up with some beauties tonight. All you have to do is make up that banner that incorporates 10 out of 10 and the Mitre 10 logo. So go to it. That is every Friday night on Friday Night Football here on 7. As I said, the St Kilda fans could be thinking up some absolute gems, but it's sadly, isn't it, in a way, because they've got to put it all in perspective. I guess really they've got about a day's celebrating.
Exactly. That's the great thing about winning a normal day grand final. Got 6 months of being the best side. Well, St Kilda have got about 24 hours, and probably not even that. And I think they even, what they were saying during the week, what Stan Els was saying, that even they were preparing themselves, I think, that they'll win it, they'll enjoy the achievement, but no, really, it's only a very small step, and they've got sort of 6 months of very hard football ahead.
Despite that, how good is this side? Are we looking at the start of a new era for St Kilda? It's been a long, hard haul, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a cause for great optimism. I mean, you can only go on what we've seen this month. I find that February and March form can be notoriously inaccurate, right. I think, once we get into April, May and June. But certainly, I mean, they've got their best side on their field. I mean, Nicky Winmar, he was a magician early in the game. When the game was there to be won, I thought he was just superb early in the match.
Yes, he was fantastic. What about the losers? Well, Dipper's got Stephen Kernahan with him right now. Dipper?
Thanks very much, Sandy. Well, Stephen, it's always hard to talk after a loss, but a good effort by Carlton?
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Dipper. It was a good effort by St Kilda. I think we met a pretty good side tonight, and they, I mean, albeit we didn't play very well, but I don't think many sides would have got too close to them tonight.
I mean, a good effort to get to the grand final. I mean, it's been a different pre-season for you, because normally you go out after the first game.
Yeah, we've had the added advantage of, having 4 fair-dinkum games on the leader, which we haven't really had before, but it's a bit disappointing to finish it like this. We've got to get up and got a big one against Collingwood next week, so we've got to get up pretty quick.
Now, you won the grand final last year, but you've recruited very well with Justin Murphy and Hickmont and some of those players like Sexton. So you've done quite well there.
Yeah, they've been good. I think we had a few out in the midfield tonight, and as you can see with the blokes like Winmar and Harvey and Burke and these blokes on the ball, and you need your good midfield players playing, and those guys are fitting very well at our side, but it'll be good to get a couple back next week.
Well, thanks for talking to us, and see you throughout the year.
Thanks, Dipper.
Yes, St Kilda have to ready themselves for next week, and of course so too does Carlton as they prepare to take on Collingwood, which will be a mighty clash to open the home and away season. We've got to take a break though, more in just a moment. And so St Kilda breaks a 30-year drought. Their leaders have been quite outstanding, particularly Stuart Lowe, who joins me now. Stewie, congratulations. Was it that 6-goal burst in the 11 minutes in the third term that really turned it on for St Kilda?
Yeah, it was, Sandy. It was just a fantastic effort. You know, so far this pre-season, you know, the guys just haven't given in, and you know, today was just another great effort, you know, by all the boys concerned.
I wish we had more time. Let me just say congratulations and have a great season.
No worries, Sandy. Thank you very much.
Stuart Lowe, victorious St Kilda tonight by 58 points. Hope you've enjoyed our telecast.
This has been a production of 7 Sport, the Olympic Network. This year bringing you the Centenary Games from Atlanta. The Ansett Australia Cup, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Foster's Lager, Mobile, Digital, Nike, and RACV Insurance.